What is good, my family? What is good, everybody? Good morning. Good morning on this Hump Day Wednesday. But what is going on, people? Please let me know in the chat if you can actually hear my voice coming through the microphone. Let me know in the chat. Throw those A's in the chat right now, team. Good morning to everybody. Yeah. There we go. How'd I get that? How'd I get those headphones connected? Couldn't he actually hear my voice getting monitored here? But we are good. Throw those A's in the chat if you can hear your voice speak. Well, how you doing? Moderator Sebastian Lim. Good morning to you, Samantha H. The war goes. Good morning, team, right? Nice. Steve Mertz, what's up, man? What's up? Good to see you here. Save pop culture. What are you talking about? Ticker symbol finger and GTII. What's going down? Philip, what's up, man? What's up? Well, team, let's go ahead and take a look at what the markets have to say, right? Oh, my goodness. Oh, right. I remember having the master layout with all of the broader markets and everything. Man, take a look at the SPY. It's actually making its high. I love it. TQQQ also ripping to the upside. I love it. Oh, my goodness. There are some pressures in the market, though, in the other tickers, right? So, actually, I am seeing GTII with a little bit of negative pressure right now, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and lift off this screen and see why we're not getting some picture, right? Let's see. Here we go. We should be live and moving some image. Please let me know if you can see that image in the screen now. Sandman, what is up with you, man? What is up? Daryl saying Mullen moving after refraining Christian, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name right, to combat naked short selling after data received from Share Intel. Nice, man. Nice. So it's moving to the upside, huh, man? I can't tell you how long it's been since the Mullen holders have actually caught a break here, man. That thing has always been, I guess, relative to the last few months, man, that thing has just really capitulated to the downside, right? So I'm actually curious to see what it even looks like. But Sebastian Lim, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of those tickers as well. Yeah, man. Yeah, why don't you look at that, man? Mullen giving somebody a break here. Finally. Jeez. But anyway, Rosie Gray Glass is saying, can we go over the SPY briefly? Of course. That is something that we should be going over anyway, right? The broader markets are topping at this thing. It's really touching. It's really tapping a supply, right? I know that the supply zone here is very strong, right? But this has the potential to become something else, like a support, and then for a continuation to the upside, right? So once again, team, if you can, I know a lot of my team members here say, don't apologize, Arca, you do so much for us, right? But what I mean is just, if you can hear the AC in the background, just go ahead and not mind that, right? We're just trying to keep Arca cool here in the studio. So the image is coming in clear. That's very good. So actually, I want to pull up a couple of tickers here because, first of all, of course, we want to take a look at FNGR, right? Because FNGR is making some pretty nice moves to the upside. I know that we put up a play just yesterday for ticker symbol AMRS. We put it up in the Discord, right? So let's go ahead and get that one up as well. We'll take a look at FNGR, GTII, all those good tickers as well, right? So let's see here. So this is going to be the AMRS play. Right, so we were talking about a dip back down first before we can actually get long the asset, right? So actually, bro, is it actually reaching my target, or did it already? Right, so has it surpassed it? Is the better question here. So let me actually pull up the play one more time to see if we're still in the money, right? So AMRS, right? So we said about 98 to 103. We're currently sitting at about 108 right now. But this was the everyone mention on the Arca page today, just after midnight, right? So at Pacific time, of course, right, team? But yes, let's go ahead and remember this, that we're looking at the long zone here, 98 cents to around 103. Could be a zone to look at entry, right? Potentially testing the hourly SMA 50 down here on AMRS, and we put a take profit for, of course, the paper trading, right? We want to keep retail safe. We're talking about a take profit of around 110 to 113, maybe even 114. This can actually make about a 10.34% move to the upside in a day, right? So we're gonna see if we can even reach that target down there. Remember one more time, that is looking like yeah, to be precise, 97.93 to around 103. It's coming down, right? 107 AMRS currently. Okay, so yeah, let me go ahead and just pull up a few more tickers. So Berenson saying, Arca, the ticker sniper. Good morning, the ticker sniper. Oh my goodness, man. Good morning to you. Good to see you here as well. So yeah, thank you, Sebastian. So the target was that, right? So 98 to 103. I really do think that it has the opportunity to reach down here. And as far as the upper term time frame momentum, right, everything is still kind of looking nice, especially in the 6-hour time frame, right? Still an upside pivot within the bullish control zone. 8-hour time frame also with an upside pivot. This is why I'm saying that this downside could be very limited here. So the only thing that we want to keep an eye on here is that upon that validation, upon that touch of within this range here, we want to make sure that we're not closing this 8-hour iteration of bearish engulfing, right? But I do have to say that the asset is not respecting a lot of those, right? So for example, here, this was actually a bearish engulfing formation, and it actually continued to the upside. But inversely, here's another bearish engulfing, and it did actually get the downside, right? So it's and here's another one that did get that downside, and another one, right? So I want you to see that this asset is not practicing all too many traditional rules, and that's potentially because FOMO is starting to apply, you know, within these frothy levels. All right, team. So one more thing we should be taking a look at is that potential head and shoulders, right, in the 8-hour time frame. This is why I'm telling you that there could be potentially a small short-term move to the upside, capitalize on that little gain, and that's it. And call it a day. Let's see if we can actually get along the ticker again once more, because it's showing a lot of volatility, right? So this is pretty good. And it was actually our analyst, right, Sebastian Lim from the Discord, right? So he actually brought this up, and moderator here. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for providing this for the community. Really appreciate you, my brother. Love it. I love it. I love it. So AGLE, if you get the time. Thanks, Daryl. How you doing, my brother? Good to see you here. Good to see you here in the chat, right? Why don't we go ahead and load that up? We still have a few tickers of requests to take a look at anyway, so we'll go ahead and pull it up right now. So let's see. You said AGLE, right? I have to be honest, I have not heard anything about that ticker until right now. So let's see what it's got. Right? Oh, huge consolidation here. Potential pennant right on the hourly time frame. This thing looks like it's loading for a potential upside soon. Let's see if it does have some downside momentum. It's only because it's the 30-minute and the hourly time frame. Let's see if the upside is still bleeding into the upper time frames. Bi-hourly upside pivot on that stochastic, contracting volatility. Nice. Let's see the 4-hour. 4-hour time frame getting that upside, contracting volatility. Nice. We could be at a potential floor here. Okay, so AGLE could be showing us some type of floor within this area before loading for an upside. So let's see the 6-hour time frame. Yeah, the 6-hour time frame is just waiting for the influence from the shorter time frame. So this is not looking bad. Right, so just keep that in mind, because it does have some potential here to find a potential upside soon. That's an hourly pennant, and those are continuation formations that usually suggest a continuation to the upside when they're being built during an upside, right? So yeah, not a problem, my brother. Let's go ahead and load that one up too, just in case, right? So we still have a few other tickers to look at. Berenson saying Mero, right? So yeah, BTC was another one that was actually supposed to be making a pretty nice upside. But let's take a look at the SPY real quick, team. Let's go ahead and see what the broader markets are saying for us, right? Because we are at a critical resistance, and a resistance that's being kind of a pest right now to kind of cover, right? So that resistance is particular to this candle here, which we just broke the market structure out of, right? Just about 2 days ago, 2 trading days ago. So this top side of this candle here was 443.90. We're currently at 443.55, right at that resistance, right? So a couple days ago on, well, actually, yeah, the Friday trading session. It feels like a Monday today, but of course because of the July 4th event, right? But which, by the way, team, I hope you all had a good family time. I hope that you all enjoyed your fireworks and good food, right? But anyway, back to the topic at hand. We had a break of market structure within this candle here that reached 444.30, breaking this 443.90 top, right? So this is what's making me feel that we're in the process of actually breaking upside of this critical resistance. Okay, so let me move some moving averages out of the way so that we can get a little bit of a clear picture here. This is very important for us to keep an eye on, team, because there is a high probability, and it's feeling like it, right? Like it wants to actually beat this resistance. So notice right now, right? The price action is this green line, the horizontal line, and we can actually make the candles pop up just a little bit more. Let me go ahead and just do that right now, right? So here we go. We should get more of a clear picture on the green and red candles, right? Some neon colors. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and take a look at this support here on the daily. We have that the tweezer bottom here, barely actually succeeded. That's currently the resistance that we're facing right now. It is very relevant. Lots of targets within that very range. Okay, small gap right here. Of course, there is that resistance to be faced right over there, right? So lots of candles within this zone. All right, so this is why I'm saying that it's kind of a tricky area to combat currently, because historically there has been a lot of price action, a lot of I would say a majority of the dispersion of returns within those zones, right? Particularly to that 443.90 to that 443 top that we faced right over here, which is 444.30. Okay, so yeah, we must combat this resistance. We must beat it, and then we need to convert it into support with at least a daily candle closure on a closing basis. Okay, so as soon as we can get a daily closure above that target, then we can actually start looking at the potential upsides, right? So let's just see what it has to say from the 30-minute time frame. Right? We're gonna give some speculation here based on raw price action and volume, right? So volume is currently holding healthy. It's not as actually it's around the same as the last few days, except of course this day here, which was on Friday. Sorry, this was actually a pretty nice incline. Of course, we showed a little more volume here. It had actually 30-minute actually volume was creating a bearish divergence, which is why we got that downside here, right? So this time the volume is actually kind of holding. In fact, it's increasing as we move deeper into the morning. Okay, Off-Grid Gorilla, good to see you here. And Samantha H saying, please guys, hit that like button. Definitely make sure to do that, team. Appreciate everybody for coming by, and we're gonna go ahead and continue evaluating a few of these tickers, right? So yes team, so that's what I'm talking about here. I do feel that we have a good shot at making a pretty nice move to the upside, but conditionally speaking, we do have some downside to look at first, particularly in the shorter term time frame. Okay, so let's see. So this has a downside pivot, right? So we want to see if we can find that support somewhere. Maybe the 15-minute can show us, right? There we go. Okay, so the 15-minute could be indicating a test back into this silver cross that's happening right now. EMA 21 crossing above the EMA 55 indicates a silver cross, which is a bullish formation. And that could be the reason why we want to come back and test the space between 443.14 and 442.87. Don't know if we can get down to 442.87, as the higher likelihood would land actually within the SMA 10 and the SMA 100 at 443.17. So that would be my final evaluation there before finding a bounce to the upside, right? So so that's what I mean by conditionally, right? We need to make sure that we can take breathers on our way up before making some pretty nice moves to the upside, right? We want to make sure that we can keep up with that price action and volume show that correlation together with an upside pivot, or else this can turn into a pretty negative outlook, right? So in respects to that, let me make sure that I can have my volume moving average loaded, right? Because volume currently is sitting above the moving average, which is usually a signal for both retail bears and retail long, right? So retail bulls. So yeah, let's keep an eye on this, team. I do feel like we have a short-term downside coming in, but that's part of the natural ebb and flow, right? It's okay. It's no big deal at all. Ticker symbol GTII facing some downside pressures here. 30-minute immediate short-term time frames showing us that support could either be now based on literally all of these other 30-minute candles, right? We've been barcoding within this zone here. There is a potential drop to the SMA 53 30-minute, right? 79.40. But it is showing some pretty negative pressure right now, team. Keep an eye on that as this. I mean, at any moment, these types of assets can capitulate, but I would like to kind of see this as more of an accumulation period before a continuation to the upside. There's a lot of positive sentiment coming in for GTII online, right? So we want to keep an eye on those things too. AMC currently sitting at 436, still within that range. and still actually pensive on the results that are going to be coming out, I think, early next week from the hearing, right? From the potential of the conversion of the APE equity unit into the Class A common stock AMC ticker, right? So we don't know if that's actually going to happen, but a lot of people feel like it is going to happen because there's been an inverse narrative here towards retail. Right, so so who knows what's going to happen there, guys? It's going to be all dependent upon the rulings, right? But yes, AMC and APE are currently holding some pretty nice positions here. Man, it's funny how I know that institutionally speaking, AMC is now triggered for short positions, right? While APE is actually getting some long positions, big money though, institutionally. Nice. Just had a sip of water, man. It's actually moving really fast. I'm moving really fast right now. So anyway, team, let's go ahead. And what's up, Jennifer? Hi, guys. How are you? Arca, I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for stopping by. So, Jennifer, I actually remember Off-Grid Gorilla. I have not covered that, but I'll go ahead and put it. And John Smith, let me read that soon. Okay, so, Jennifer, I am actually... yeah, we definitely need something frothy for sure. I think I saw your... Oh, right. I did see your comment. I apologize for not replying to you. I did see that FNGR was up that 21%, like you said, right? We were actually keeping an eye on that live, right? So on that session. But this, yeah, FNGR absolutely making some really nice, interesting moves to the upside here. And there is a serious shot, man. There is a serious shot here for this thing to continue on to the upside and potentially reach that topside target of the of the 3 spot 618 at 423, right? It definitely has that momentum. It has that positioning right now. Everything is looking absolutely good. 4-hour time frame is printing its first green bar on the MACD with a cross, right? So that's very good. 4-hour time frame. Look at that. This is usually what I look for, right? I look for this 4-hour upside pivot within the bullish control zone, and that's where our leading indicator is currently, right? So this is a very good move, and this is potentially playing. I mean, this was when I thought that we were going to create that bear trap, right? So, I mean, this can technically still create a head and shoulders formation, right? A herpy derpy. It can actually still make that a possibility here within dropping, while dropping to that 328 to 336. But to be very honest here, the shorter term time frames are not suggesting anything of that nature. In fact, everything above the 4-hour time frame is in the bullish control zone and or with an upside pivot, right, from critical volatility. So this is a very particular setup, and one that suggests a continuation to the upside several days to come. First of all, please notice that we are getting finally that daily stochastic momentum is starting to get that pivot towards the upside, and actually starting to see some strength coming in the MACD as well as the RSI. What's most important here above it all is that there's a tiny little setup that must realize in order to give the volatility versus momentum statistic I say fair play, and that would be this: the DMI indicator. You can actually see that the DMI plus, represented by the green line here, aka bulls, are clearly on top of the bears, and the bears are suggesting a continuation in decline here. And here is that very touch that we always look for, team. The ADX dotted white line currently sitting on the daily time frame at 37%. I do mention this quite often, right? We actually talk about the ADX sitting at about 30%, if not minimum 25%, to suggest a strong trending market to whoever is leading the pack. In this case, DMI plus, aka bulls. Okay, so this is 100% giving some validity to the stochastic momentum versus volatility situation here with an upside pivot. Yeah, this is looking massively good, you guys. So, of course, we can keep an eye on this. We'll keep on looking at it as time moves, right? Look at ticker symbol MULN, still actually getting that resistance touch from the hourly SMA 100 at 1280. Let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here, right? AMRS, let's see what the low is now. 8-hour 200 SMA is starting to act as a support. 24 minutes to cut this 8-hour iteration, and the reason why I'm calling out the time is because this is a bearish engulfing candle formation on the 8-hour. If we do close this red candle, the last candle, right, the current candle that we're in, where it says $1.08 on the valuation, closing that anywhere beneath 109. Which, I mean, we're just a hair under, right? Closing this candle anywhere beneath 109 would actually make a bearish engulfing, and it would suggest a potential drop, right, to get to our long zone. So we're looking at that potential long zone at about 97.93 to 103 for a potential 10% or 10.3% move to the upside at about $1.14. So this could be a morning scalp here before actually getting a continuation to the upside, because I am bullish AMRS, but remember that I'm a short-term trader. I tend to realize those gains right away, so that you can compound that effect, right, or get the compound effect based on the short-term scalps or short-term day trades or momentum trades, right? So yeah, keep an eye on those targets, team. We're talking about a potential drop to 98 to 103, lift off to about 113, 114. Okay, so that would be a very nice over 10% move on the day, and that would be I mean, great. Come on, team. Come on. We need to make sure not to ride all the moonshots. We need to make sure that we can keep consistency on a daily basis, right? And then use that and use that compounding effect, right? And it'll really help the portfolio grow and grow. Not financial advice, team. Please remember, I'm just an entertainer here, coming to you live from a studio room in Palmdale, California. So please remember those details when exposing yourself to live cash, right? So we're talking about paper trading here and training. All right, team. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on with other tickers here. AGLE was another one that was actually asked about, right? Before I continue it, I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit curious here over what's going on in the broader markets, right? Yeah, we're getting that short-term pullback, no problem, just like we said, right? So anyway, AGLE, let's see what it's got in line for us, right? So 6-hour time frame, you can clearly see we're finding that support at that SMA 10. So this is looking not bad. Let's see where the final support is, right? So if we're bleeding beneath the SMA 14 here on the 6-hour, let's look at the 8-hour time frame to see if that SMA 14 is below the signal line, which is the RSI signal, the cyan line or the baby blue line, right? So let's find that support somewhere. Let's see the 8-hour time frame, still below it, right? Let's see the 12-hour, still below it. In fact, this is about to make a pretty, I mean, it is kind of bearish because it is the 12-hour, but it is conditional too, right? So here it is. Let me look at the 12-hour one more time. Yeah, the daily time frame suggesting this downside here to that SMA 14 right back here could be the reason that we could see some downside continuation, right? So in this case, let me load up some EMAs here to see if there is anything of higher probability for a touch. In fact, yeah, that EMA 7 and the EMA 7 could be another zone for us to touch. I'll give you a range right now so that we can see what that long opportunity could be, right? So just remember that this is not, I have not back tested this, and I have not really seen anything that can give us that higher probability here. I want you to notice something interesting though, okay? So if this daily candle does print, of course it's by the end of the day today, right? So 4 hours 20 minutes to close this candle here. If it does print anywhere beneath the opening valuation of the prior candle, which is 45.14, that would indicate a continuation to the downside, and it would actually indicate a retest of around this zone here. Okay, so this zone is very particular to me. Okay, so I'm going to show you why. First of all, if you are familiar with the inner circle trading, right, so that is ICT. There is on futures contracts, there is something called I guess that there could be a fair value gap, right, or it would be called an imbalance. Sorry. So the imbalance actually happens with the low of this wick here, and you skip a day prior, right, and you see this wick to the upside. There's a little bit of a gap between that. You see that? So that little gap here could potentially be a zone for a retracement, for price to come back in and test as a support. Another reason why this area is very important is because it also happened here. There's a very tiny imbalance here between these two candles here. This was Monday the 26th, and this is Thursday the 22nd of June, right? So right here, this area here is incredibly important. That's why I'm saying that I can give you a range down to the EMA 7 for a potential loading zone, right? So it's possible. I'm not saying that it's gonna happen. I'm just telling you that there is some interest based on these, based on that strategy. right? So Cryptic Trader, what's up? What's up? Saying what's up, SA? Vato Loco Arca, that man, my bro, good to see you here. I hope everything's good. I hope your 4th was chilling, man. You got some good food, right? I love it, man. So yeah, guys, that's what I'm looking for. AGLE, right? We want to get that short-term bounce. There could be a potential continuation to the upside, but it's very conditional, right? This thing has gapped up massively. It has a critical support to evaluate right down here. The range is 34.13. Yeah, so make sure to keep an eye on this, okay? Because if you don't keep an eye on this and you start getting daily closures beneath it, the ground may fall right under you, okay? So you're looking at a bottom side support here or a demand zone. Daily time frame 34.31 to about 35.30. Okay, keep a close eye on that. You don't want any daily closures beneath there because then you will capitulate, and you will be hearing me say that this is going to be a good short play. So, so keep your eyes peeled here. Look at that. That's very interesting here. We had a huge shakeout. This is a big shakeout before a massive upside. This is strategic, by the way. This is to stop out longs before a potential move to the upside, which is it's inverse to anything that I've ever heard in my life. But apparently that is the case, right? We don't want too many winners, apparently. Man. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue with the tickers here. FNGR currently making the continuation to the upside that we were speaking of, right? So let's see. So I'm sorry, this is FRGT. What the hell? Where is FNGR? Here it is. Okay, so we want to keep an eye on FNGR, team. Remember, okay, we're looking for... I know we're facing the resistance at 379. Current high of day is already at 397. But I still have my eyes on that 3.618 at 423. Not sure that I can reach it today, but it is a high probability. FRGT ripping to the upside right now. Man, look at this. Hourly time frame. Finding that support from the SMA 200. Very, 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 very interesting here. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the conversion of a whole bear. I mean, this was all bear control, right? So this now showing this huge promise is starting to impact momentum in the shorter time frames, right? So, which could mean that it's going to bleed into the buy hourly. So 30-minute and 15 minutes should be absolutely bullish. There we go. So let me see if we have any resistance coming up. Oh man, yes we do. Okay, so resistance is about to be faced, and that is specifically, yeah, it was the range of about 108. It's currently sitting at 109, right? To, I'd say, about 112. Okay, so 108 to 112. All these tickers, guys, they're freaking ripping, man. That's insane. Good way to capitalize on some little short moves, right? But remember, when trading these assets, these are in essence, I know that they may have some promise, right, fundamentally speaking, for the future and stuff, but while they are sitting beneath the $5 range, they are in essence low quality stocks, right? But you will get some extreme volatility here, right? So I just must express to be super careful. If you don't have risk management in line, I would suggest kind of refining that before trading tickers like this, because this can present some serious losses to your portfolio, right, team? But I mean, the 30-minute time frame is absolutely moonshotting here. Damn, very, very strong. Hourly time frame is starting to get that pivot towards the upside on momentum. We're getting that critical volatility read and increasing, right? So look at that price action. My goodness, my goodness. Let me see this. Let me see the 4-hour. The 4-hour has an upside already. It's in the bullish control zone. This thing actually may surpass this target, actually. I'm going to give you another target to the upside because the thrust is pretty strong on this right now. Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's similar to FNGR. Last week we were looking at some resistances, and just FNGR kept on surpassing those targets, right? Very, very impressive price action. But yes, I'm going to this is a secondary target for you to look at. Well, I can give you 3, right? So this would be, let me just single line this one here. And you're looking at a 117 resistance followed by 122 to 128, if you are curious, right? I mean, I'm going to tell you one thing real quick. If we do have enough force towards the upside, which is, by the way, showing some FOMO is actually dipping in pretty insane right now, there is a potential to drop to that to lift off to that SMA 200 4-hour at $1.47. So massively bullish times here with ticker symbol FRGT showing its strength today. Man, I wonder if that extended very weird vacation time, got some bulls to line up and just take over the control here, right? So what I am going to show you here is actually a little more on the realism than the speculation, right? So first of all, we are at a resistance right now that could be favoring a regression, right? So we have to look at it like this too. Okay, so let me just go ahead and kind of draw this. There is some type of correlation happening here within these trend lines, right? So that's all I mean. I mean, we can actually make him fit, but that would be massaging, right? So something like this here could also be the indication of resistance. So particularly this touch here, this touch here, this touch here, and this is another reason why we're facing all that resistance right now, right? So aside from some moving averages and some critical historical resistances that we found, right? Particularly this gap right here on the 4-hour time frame, price action is currently sitting right at the resistance of that gap, right? So that's another reason we're combating this, okay? But I want to show you several ways to look at what could be presently happening, right? So that you don't get trapped when trying to get long some tickers like this, right? Or some situations like this. Remember that if this price action maintains itself anywhere beneath this candle here, it's short-term bearish, right? So 165 would be that area to kind of combat in order for us to get a continuation to the upside here. Critical resistance at the present moment, and it could be a descending channel, which could be a bullish thing. All right, so let's go ahead and line up some of those possibilities, right? So just like this, we can go ahead and take into consideration something like this, which actually matches out pretty well, right? Lots of support touches here, bunch of supports there, lots of supports here, and resistances, and then the reclaiming of the channel in the inside, resistance of the channel currently in place, right? So another way that we can tell what these upside targets can lead to is upon breakout here, which, by the way, I'm not particularly sure that this is ready for breakout, but I can speculate. Let me see if I can get this thing to be as tight as possible, right? So let me see if that's actually the resistance top. Is it for real though, right? So let me just make some adjustments here and see if we can make an actual play out of this, right? So okay, I see it. There we go. Okay, so if we have a very questionable test here, this would be test 1 of the resistance. 2, 3, capitulation event after 3 like always, and we get that that true breakout test of number 4. If 4 fails, we have that test number 5 still, okay? So I wouldn't look at any more tests after 5 because that could present a really serious downside, okay? So now take a trend line from the top side of the channel, right, like this, to get a price objective to the bottom side and apply it to the area of supposed breakout, right? Let's just say that it's going to happen in the next 4-hour iteration, which is going to close. Let's see, the current 4 hour is going to close in 11 minutes and 9 seconds, 8 seconds, whatever that is. Topside target is actually suggesting just upside of that inflection zone that we spoke of, right? So very curious that it would take us there. 171 is the essential target. With enough bull interest, of course. So keep an eye on that because this does have the thrust and the possibility to get that upside, right? So now if we're speaking daily time frame though, let's keep in mind what's happened before, right? So we're clearly above the previous day high and the previous day pre-market high and intraday high, right? So all of those targets have been essentially just met, right? Currently we're facing the resistance from the highs of Wednesday, June 21st. Okay, so what I want you to do is just to see how much I'm respecting historical resistances and supports, right? So this is obviously a very critical zone, not only because we identified our channel, not only because we know we identified some potential gaps here within these targets here, but also because in this resistance or support, we kind of sat there for a while, right? So we can only assume that this would be a very strong area or a key resistance to combat. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for FRGT, but it does have some very high potential. And let's see, man, this daily time frame contracting from the critical zone with an upside pivot on stochastics. Let's see what the ADX is saying. Oh man, look at that, 27% ADX with an upside crossing right now over the bears. Yeah, there's something going on here with FRGT. Not exactly sure what's going on, right? But let's see. We don't have anything recent in news, which is very curious. No idea why this is actually running But if somebody actually does know, go ahead and let me know what that reason could be, right? So let me go ahead and load up that thing that Sebastian Lim is asking for, right? So ALLR, and I think I saw another ticker in there floating that somebody has mentioned before. I think it was a BTAI. Please let me know if I'm actually getting it wrong. Batter, what's up, man? Good morning, all. Let's see. ALLR up 60% today. Could you please take a look, Arca? Stay away from ALLR, bro, says Sebastian Lim, with a very good reason, to tell you the truth, man. This is already highly pumped to the upside, right? Currently facing a massive resistance right over here at 1123. Let me take a look at, let's see. Let me take a look at the daily time frame here and see what the issue is here. Okay, so yeah, critical resistance touch right back here. And remember that this is actually just coming down from a very high target, right? So, oh my goodness, and what it's facing right now is potentially due to a split that recently happened. This was just on what? Thursday. It actually got this RS of 1 to 40. So, I mean, this man, this could be a bull trap. Okay, so I understand that we're in the process of building some very nice formations here. Like, for example, the daily bullish engulfing here, potentially printing in 4 hours and 7 minutes. Anywhere upside of the opening valuation of this prior candle would mark a bullish engulfing. But seeing that it did reverse split for the second time this year, that's that's not the best look, right? So, and this should not essentially be, it shouldn't be happening, right? So a lot of these times, these are just very rare pumps, allowing people to get out, right? So I would strongly advise against, training with this ticker here. This is very bullish, of course. I just can't tell you. I don't know anything about ALLR fundamentally or anything like that, right? 28 minutes ago, let's see, surges on positive trial data for breast cancer therapy. So it's a trial. Okay, so ALLR Therapeutics shares jump as breast cancer treatment candidates shows promising signs. Okay, so we can see right now that it's showing promising signs, and that it's not the answer that everybody essentially wanted, right? So 87% run. Look at after positive early. So there it is. That's the data in Europe. Okay, so right now we're actually pumping on the positive result or a promising sign. So it's not in fact the sign that we're looking for, right? We're looking for the absolute yes, it's good to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and distribute here and release the product, right? So in essence, this is just a temporary upside, and I do believe that this will revert. This will mean revert and essentially come back down to the zones of about, I'd say right around here, around 755 to about 808. Okay, so this is around my target that I'm looking for, which would be consistent to the top side or to the range of this gap right over here. Okay, so a lot of the times these types of plays are just to kind of, I mean, it's just really any excuse to make the run to the upside. Of course, I can't speak for FOMO, right? Because anything that I'm saying now could be essentially invalidated at any given moment. But from my perspective and what I've seen in the markets, when we get news like that, that's just not like precisely the best that the news could actually be, right? The pumps usually last for a short while. Although I do have to say ALLR has not seen, oh yeah, it actually has. It has seen some of these pumps to the upside, okay, like and they actually fail, right? So lots of wicks to the upside like these. These are liquidity traps, and I'm not sure if they were news related or anything, but we can see that there's plenty of those, right? So trapping longs on the way down. What's to say that this is just not another one, right? The last one you can see that they happen on average like every week-ish or 2 weeks, right? So we're within that threshold right now. And again, I can't speak for FOMO. I can't speak for the absolute valuation for this. But like I said, oftentimes it tends to kind of reverse, right? So yeah, it is an RS play. This is what Sebastian Lim is saying too. Lots of wicks, exactly. So Just please be very, very, very careful. Saying mucho gracias. Batter, thank you so much for coming in. Very, very good to see you here, my brother. So now, James, FRGT, we just went over that, looking very bullish on the day. Guys, I know that somebody talked about that ticker. I was asking you earlier. John Smith, how you doing, my brother? So BTAI. Somebody was talking about that. Let's see. So Alzheimer's and beat device for cardiac okay. Let me see. Let's see what it's got to offer, right? So let's load up that master layout and type in BTAI and see what's good in the hood. All right. So let's see. Oof. Okay, so this is a big gap down play. Oh my goodness. It's stepping into the territory of the gap. But remember that, yes, there is a gap here, right? So very easy slide, but look left, okay? Always zoom out and see what these resistances are, because this is a massive resistance faced right here, okay? So I want to give you one more resistance that's just going to be, I don't want to say close to impossible to combating, but it's going to be very difficult. Okay, this one right over here. So potentially price action can continue to 1132 here. Huge upside, by the way. Okay, so I'm just going to give you this resistance touch, and I want to give you the overall range as well. Okay, so particularly to the IPO, right? So right here, the high of this target being $12. Lots of resistance at $12, touching perfectly at it, right? Huge support level there. Many other areas here that do share support and confluence within that target. Okay, so price action, if it does if you're long this asset, right, and you're gonna wait for that pump to the upside to reach essentially that target, you're looking at a continuation right now of 15.3% to the upside. To the top side of the range, you're looking at about 23%. So that's very bullish. And here's a resistance that we're facing that could potentially be there. Let me move the nothing on the daily time frame there to see, right? So let me see the Gaussian. Do we have a Nope. Yeah, I'm going to have to give this the discretionary resistance of $11.29 to $12, marking a 15 to 23% move to the upside from the current moment. And you can see the resistance appear on the SMA 14 RSI. Okay, so that's essentially what I'm looking at here. Potential resistance touch there. The thing is that it's not sitting in the gravitational zone, so this may be an actual resistance before a pullback. Okay, so everything is at critical with an upside pivot starting to happen before. But what I mean by pullback is actually natural resistance. Pull back to an area, hopefully right back down here where we are, right, which is literally 970. Validate the top side here of these candles as a support before a continuation onto the upside. Okay, so BTAI still has a pretty massive opportunity for recovery here. Okay, team. So. It's not bad. It's not bad. I would just keep a very close eye on this, okay? Because this is, let's see what news we're getting right now. So 2 days ago, right? So HC Weinreich cuts price target on, from 6 cuts from to 60. Sorry, from 66. Oh my goodness, I'm reading it wrong. All right, so. I hate it when these price target cuts. That's literally what's happening with AMC too right now, right? So lots of price cuts and lots of price increases right now, which is choose one, you guys. What's going down here? We're literally pumping on the broader markets, and everything is looking pretty bullish, right? So here it goes, guys. Here's the drop that we were looking for, SMA 50 on the 30-minute. We're getting that bounce to the upside. I believe that this is the reaccumulation event before we can actually get an actual thrust and opportunity to combat the top side of about 444.30 that we were looking at right over here. So this is it's obviously it's a dangerous thing, right? But I am encouraging the reloading of the bulls here. Okay, so we can definitely get some more thrust to the upside by gathering some more pressure. Okay, so this is looking not bad, team. AMC currently 431. GTII sitting at 8105, literally bouncing off of this this algorithmic bottom that we were speaking of just recently, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at for the broader markets, right? So anyway, BTAI, keep an eye on those targets. I do think that there could be a continuation to the upside here, right? So I'm liking it, but it's very reactive to this drop, right? So when was this actually released, right? So this was released 2 days ago. Yeah, respectively, we did get that pretty bearish price action, right? So anyway, let me go ahead and check back here in the chat. So Daniel Kelso, what's up, man? Is that actually, is that really a ticker? Hold on just a sec. Yeah, FNGR still at 376, guys. It's not looking bad whatsoever. I'm looking at this, man. So MULN cryptic trader. Let's look at that, man. MULN currently making that hourly SMA 100 conversion into support. I think it's gonna have to pull back at one point to test it, man. But this is 100% super extra vanilla froth on top. This is crazy. There we go. Got a little sip of water here, feeling very good. Yeah, man, this thing is actually ripping to the upside. So Matterport, right? So oh man, it's been a while since I've actually looked at that ticker. Why don't we do so, right? So MTTR. I remember actually I used to look at this ticker because that guy Kevin, what's his name? Meet Kevin, right? He was talking about Matterport like last year or 2 years ago. I forgot when it was. Okay, so what? Yeah, I like the price action. Series of higher highs and higher lows, not bad. We haven't had any. Yeah, we haven't had any relevant news or anything, right? So this thing is potentially running. I mean, you also have a little inverse head and shoulders here that can give us a topside target here. It's reaccumulating right now, and it's very good to test that because it's literally the test of the shoulders, right? So, of course, this is not usually how I trade, team, not based on this kind of formation, right? So, but it does provide some good engagement. So why don't we do that real quick, right? So let's take a trend line to mark off the resistance line and or the shoulders. I'm sorry, the neckline, right? So that could be right there. So we take a trend line from the very top side of the formation, right at the head, and go all the way to the bottom side, very, very, very bottom of the head there, and we can apply this trend line to the top side of the right shoulder, right? So this would be indicating a potential touch of a very critical resistance. These are scissor tops here, so very likely to find some resistance within that area, but I'm going to give you a range. These scissor tops are very, very interesting here because that is exactly the opening valuation of this topside candle before a capitulation. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that it's a very critical resistance there. Okay, so let's put that there, right? So if possible, an update on GTBP. Thank you, Arca. Not a problem. What is up, as Brooks 2022? Good to see you here. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and speculate a little deeper here. Yeah, like I said, team, that's a very heavy resistance there, but let me give you a range for it. Okay, and it's not a range to the upside; it's actually a range to the downside because there is a fair amount of resistance within this area here. Lots of candles actually touching within that zone there, right? So all of that. So let's go ahead and mark it off like that. Remember, it's in a very discretionary fashion. Okay, so let's put it just like this to the opening valuation and top side of the tweezer tops, right? Just right over here. So we're looking at 377 to 391 as a potential touch to the upside. Well, you know, we can also back it with some fibs. We don't have to do it, but we can absolutely encourage it, right? So let's go ahead and put it from the current range high to the range low on the daily. And yeah, please notice here that the top side of this range here, 391, it just so happens to have a lot of rhyming here with the 2.618 at 293. Bottom side 377, 2.272 at 378. Okay, so it's a pretty slam dunk geometric play, of course, given that we do continue this bullish price action. And we don't get a rejection at any moment, right? So let's just see what we have. Oh, this is okay to a certain extent, right? Daily time frame currently converting the SMA 200 into a support. It's very important what we're doing right now, in fact. Okay, so the conversion of this SMA 200 into support on the daily time frame would give us the indication of a bullish trend starting to happen, and I'm talking about macro trend. like a bull market cycle for this ticker Matterport. Okay, so keep an eye on this potential bounce from the SMA 10 located right at about 303 before continuing on to the upside, right? So 303, of course, it's a range though, so 303 to the bottom side of about $3. Keep an eye on that, and then we could get a nice bounce to the upside. And you know what? I should probably not be lazy and just make sure to kind of mark this off for whatever reason, right? So we'll just leave it like that. 303 to $3 is a support range before continuing. So anyway, let me go ahead and come back here and see what the deal is, right? So now John Smith though saying XCPL. Damn, 3 zeros and 4. Okay. New CEO will be announced soon. Probably won't play out for a few weeks of those with high risk tolerance penny play. Yeah, careful with those. Careful with those plays, okay? Because not always do you. I mean, we have to keep an eye. See that this is the management change is something that I like to play for fundamentals, right? But what I would have to say is that the track record from that CEO that's coming versus the CEO that's leaving has a lot to do with the price action. So you have to take a look at his track record, the new CEO, right? So keep an eye on what he's done historically speaking, okay? So what I mean is just where has he taken the companies that he's led? Where has he taken them to? Who was he affiliated with, right? And how long did it take it to get there? Either to the downside or to the upside, right? So we have to kind of keep stats on the current players, meaning the CEOs, just like we do keeping the stats for current ball players, right? Or current boxers or MMA fighters. We look at the stats to see how they're historically performing, right? So we want to see how historically the new CEO is performing in comparison to the current one. And upon validating some pretty good moves, there is a reason why you would choose to get short or get long the asset. Okay, so keep an eye on those things. Okay, not a lot of people tend to do that fundamental research because it does take quite some time to kind of do it. But trust me when I say that it matters, and it matters heavily when it comes to investment. All right, let me take another sip of water here, team. Also, team, please remember that the little lady should be stopping by the studio door here soon, right, to actually say goodbye. She's going to be on her way to work fairly soon. So we'll just go ahead and, kind of hold things just a bit. So S. Brooks with GTBP, right? So I'm wondering, did I even have that up here somewhere? Stick Vicious, my bro. Battle. The wifey officially calls you my man crush. What? It's not even like we're boys. Just a man crush. My dude, thank you so much for your dono, my brother. That means so much to me and my family. I can't tell you how much it helps, dude. Of course. But tell the wifey that we're boys. Man crush. You know, actually, it's funny you say man crush because I was talking to my wife about a man crush just yesterday. And I do have to say that one of my man crushes in the entertainment world would actually have to be Ryan Reynolds for his wit, right? I feel like if that guy and I ever got together, it'd be ridiculous. It'd be an end to all things living, right? So he's a very witty man, but I do respect him for that, right? So, and she said her man crush, and I'm like, oh, your man crush? She said, yeah, for a while when she was very young, Johnny Depp, right? So. I said, well, you and many millions of other young women, right? So Johnny Depp, oh my goodness! And by the way, have you guys actually caught that new show on HBO with Johnny Depp's daughter? Man, too much booty shot, right? So what is it? The Idol, I think it was called. Very interesting show. But anyway, team, yeah, let's go ahead and load up that ticker. That who was it? Yeah, Battle. Thank you so much, my dude. So let's see. We might leave the wifeys for that. LOL. Makes sense. Oh my goodness, man. They're out here sweating. Oh my goodness. GSAC saying, John Smith saying that GSAC is actually facing a nice pullback. Guys, that is a valuation of 3 zeros and 8. I mean, there's a certain point, John, to where I actually don't speak of, right? So those are a little too dangerous for my green traders, for my beginners. I feel a little weird in actually shouting out tickers like those, right? Because that, man, you can actually mangle those like a rag doll. Right, you throw in $15 and that thing rockets to the moon. Not financial advice, and it's not actually true. All right, Cryptic Trader, Sean Connery in his prime. Every other man is weak compared. Dude, Sean Connery in his prime was a freaking don. That guy ripped, man. He was absolutely awesome. Sean Connery. Oh, man. Yeah. Good actor, man. Absolute, I mean, class A right there, my brother. But anyway, yes, team, let's go ahead and pull up that, who was it? I know that we're looking at Veery for the man 246, right? So, in fact, we can just do that real quick. And, damn it, man. GTBP was the one. Let's load it up real quick. So, let's see. And here it is. So, GTBP, we've been keeping an eye on this ticker, right? Okay. All right. So from the prior day, and I'm wondering if I even actually put this. Oh, my thesis is up. Okay, good. Let me see. Nice. Okay. So yeah, this is a zone of there's two demand, well, three in all essence, right? So you have demand 1, demand 2, and demand 3 down here. So this demand 1, we're getting that rejection from it because it is a critical support. Relative to the shorter term time frame, right? So now the bounce to the upside is also indicative of a pretty nice support validation of the SMA 10 versus the SMA 50 on a daily time frame. Okay, so I am liking how this is looking, and remember that this is the preparation for a breakout of true test number 5. We're at number 4 here. Okay, reclaiming the inside of the descending wedge, or the broadening descending wedge. For a reload here to get that true test of breakout number 5. I like it. The top side of the resistance here to keep an eye on would be at the 0618, 3978. Sometimes, and I would have to say sometimes, right? We do get a resistance touch at the 0.5 fib, which would be let's see, 3720. Okay, so. And like I said, guys, these are very, very speculative assets, right? But there is some, to my belief, I do believe that there could be some fundamentals kind of in play here. And I'm not sure that I know how or who, but something's going on within the ticker, okay? So keep an eye on this target. We may actually get that drop one more time to test the bottom side and literally the SMAs, right? So the SMA 10 and the SMA 50. Down to, let's see, what could be about 3116. Sebastian Lim, my bro, thank you so much, dude. That really means a lot. That's right, Sandman saying the original 007, but Sebastian Lim, my bro, how could you make me blush like that, man? I love you to death. Thank you, my brother. Really, really appreciate that. My family appreciates you. Okay, my brother. So I want to... let's see. I want to say that we're not going to be ready for a breakout here on the day, and specifically because we might be facing a little bit of lower volume during this week, right? We still, I mean, there are people who took the entire week off, guys, and I'm talking about from Friday last week all the way to Friday this week or Sunday. So that could make the markets move a little bit slower. Or, not according to what we're actually looking for, right? So look at the TQQQ testing that zone that we were talking about. Very nice bounce to the upside. SPY combating that SMA 50 on the 30-minute. Keep an eye on that target there because it's a very critical target within this zone here, right? It could still drop further down to the area of about 443.03, which is, I think, the area that we spoke of earlier, right? So if it does do that, no big deal. Just make sure that you protect your longs. Okay, do not start giving back what you've already acquired from the markets, right? So keep your profits. Man, not sure why I'm so thirsty today, but the water is absolutely cold and I love it. Anyway, team, yes, let's go ahead and come back and nice. GTBP is already getting that upside. Very cool. 5-day time frame, yeah, within that critical support, not bad. And yeah, so remember, team, that I'm still looking at that potential upside here. We just started this 5-day candle, right? Literally today. So we just started this damn thing here, and I do think that we can get a top side here overall at about 42 cents. Okay, which would mark a 40% move to the upside. I think that it can be acquired in maybe a week or two. Yeah, we would have to see the price action here, but there is kind of a shift happening in a broader perspective. Okay, so that's really all I have to say for that. So thank you, Arca, for covering GTBP and so much more. Absolutely, my friend, no problem. I definitely I hope to help. That's all. That's really all, right? So SOUN trying to reverse. So SOUN was another one that we were taking a look at, right? So failing this channel here, we thought that could have actually been a nice opportunity to. Man, why is it actually? Were we looking at this on the 4 hour? Let's see. Okay, 4 hour time frame, SMA 50 coming up. We potentially used it as a support as well, and continued on to the upside, guys. This is looking really familiar here. SOUN. I don't want to say. Okay, we might have an adjusted range here, and I think I see. Oh man. Yikes. Okay, so this could be actually a bigger ascending channel than what we thought. Oh my goodness, it is. Jeez. Okay. And the SMA 50 is riding that support right over here. Okay, team. So yeah, if we're looking at SOUN, wow. 4 hour time frame still suggesting a downside here. Let's see if the 30-minute or 15-minute is starting to reverse. Okay, they are. 15-minute, let's see. Even bigger. All right, so the very short-term time frames, I really mean this, 15, 30, and hourly are going to be the overall deciding factor if this is going to continue to the upside or not. Okay, so this, in all honesty, this is starting to look. Yeah, in all honesty, this is starting to look like it's going to be one of those ladder formations, right? So I would be very careful here. I know that we have this bottom side support on the SMA 200 right at our discretionary support, right, of 402 to about 392. But I would have to say that it's also the inflection point, right? So failing it due to this candle here, that's a range failure. So closing an hourly candle beneath the target of about 389 would capitulate the price further down to around 348, which would essentially kind of validate here the ladders, right? So if I'm gonna be very honest here, okay, team, I don't like when I see these capitulation periods and then they start to follow that, right? So that actually leads to further downsides, and there is a potential here that the price action can lead to around 392. Okay, so a higher potential for sure. Okay, so I'm not saying that we're gonna get there like in with certainty. I'm just telling you that I don't like this recovery period. These are all reversions, right? These are all reversions, and oftentimes the short sellers like to take advantage of those plays because they often trap longs thinking that the bottom is in and they're just gonna play the floor all the way to the upside. Oftentimes it doesn't happen like that. And here's one, right? Like one here, here's another one here, and then this is another one here. I'm just saying that it could be. Okay, so keep an eye on SOUN. This is looking a little dangerous. Okay, team. So okay, the SPY and the TQQQ are starting to recover ever so slightly here. Ticker symbol APE still holding that 180 that we've been looking at, right? So for some time. And let's see, GTII 82 cents presently printing this daily spinning top doji. Just no clear indication as to where it's going to be bullish or bearish, right? So FRGT getting that upside, guys. This thing is starting to break out of the channel. Actually, we've already faced a high. Let's see where that high came on FRGT. Let's see, that was 110. And 110 is literally right at the resistance here that we were at, right? Okay. The pullback is happening to validate the newly converted resistance into support from this channel. Okay, team, but remember that this channel here, descending channels are usually they're usually a bullish thing, right? So if we're looking at 1, 2, 3, yeah, this could be the fourth test like we said. Okay, team. So yeah, keep a close eye on your gains, team. Oh my goodness, no way! Look at Mullen. What the heck, dude? That is absolutely ripping. Oh my goodness. It is currently up 41% on the day and climbing. This is absolute froth, guys. This is ridiculous. It is right at the support, right at the resistance level of this valuation here. I think a strong pullback from 1451 would have to do it. I mean, unless it just gets a quick little pump to the upside. But 1451 would be a critical resistance. Guys, if you're beating 1451, this thing will slide straight up to 1550. Okay, oh my goodness, 1460 right now. Damn. Holy goodness, man, this thing is really ripping to the upside. Huge price action happening in Mullen, you guys. Oh my goodness, what the heck? Let's go to the daily time frame and see what the heck is even looking like. Oh, dude, look at that. Look at that. It's in the process of converting that SMA 10 into support. Oh, damn. Yeah, team, the potential here, but there's a high potential here to reach 1553 or 1550. This thing is really, really, really bullish. But again, team, it's just, man, there's a lot of people holding here. There's a lot of people holding. Okay, so, yeah, oh, man, look at that. We were already kind of waiting for it, too. Look at the arrows that we were marking, right? The ladders. So we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the push to the upside, right? Of course, we're getting it. Nice, nice. Very, very cool. And did I even? No way. I talked about it, too. We were talking about a 171% rise here to 130. Could it be? Jeez. Man, I don't know, team. I don't know. I think, I mean, it's moving in the area that we thought it was going to move, but that's not to say it's going to do it, right? Although it's looking like it is. But on a macro perspective, team, remember, it's done this. It's done a fair bit of I mean, that's not cool, right? So keep an eye on your investments here, team. I know that there's a lot of people bag holding here, so at any given moment, people are going to try to take their whatever they can get from the asset, right? So before it officially zeroes someone out. So let's see. So Stick Vicious saying Mullen hired an agency to investigate naked shorting. Yeah, that's exactly what was happening. We'll pull up ticker symbol VRI right now. And let's see. Yep, the CEO, David, finally got on board with the fight against naked shorting. My goodness, man. That is incredible, team. That is incredible. Huge price action right now. My goodness, man. So I'm telling you, 1450 could be the top side of the target that we're looking at. Current high is already set. Let's see, already set at that 1466. All right, I'm sorry, 1550. 1550 was the top side I'm looking at based on this support zone here, now a resistance. But I mean, this is on. I mean, look at the daily volume. It's upside of the moving average, and no way. Look at this, 346 million on traded volume. 230 the past day, the prior day 285. 387 with this one here. What? 409. There was so much. What the heck? 430 million. What's this? What does it even have? Naked shorting, of course, right? 620 million on the allowable or legal float. And you're trading 433 with negative cent. That's I mean, no shit. There is absolutely it's only fair. It's only fair to investigate the potential for synthetic shares. This is absolutely ridiculous. And if it is the case to where they find the actual proof of synthetic naked shares present in the pool here, that's who knows how many million are going to have to be covered right on the lit exchange. So that could actually play. I hate saying this because the conditions in the broader market are not quite there yet, right? But this can set a short squeeze. And Mullen does have an options chain too, right? This actually could could start off. It could be fired with a gamma ramp first. Oh my goodness. Yeah, team. There's something going down here, and yeah, it could be. Let's see what the news says about that. Right, so an hour ago, Mullen retains a law firm for naked short selling investigation. Do you understand just this right here? Naked short selling. When you present that a couple times, this is Reuters, guys. This is big. This is a big deal. So when you present those 3 words there, you best bet that retail's going to go nuts, right? They're going to say, I told you. They're going to say, I'm going to double down now, right? So, and this is a natural pump. I'm talking about from people, right? So this is not I don't think there's, I mean, we're going to have to take a look at it ourselves, but I don't think this is any short covering yet, as it would probably be it's like you're walking down the street, and then you hear a siren go off, whether it be a cop or whoever, right? And then you just start running. Like, why are you running? Like, you know, not one cop is chasing you, but you're running, right? So I don't think this would be a place. Yeah, the psychology for sure. I don't think this would be a place for institutional covering, right? So, oh man, I mean, it would be a little too obvious at that point, right? So. Steve Mertz saying, yep, just loaded up on options this morning. Okay, so, man, if you're in the money on these options, just remember, sometimes most of the times, options end up being worthless. They end up expiring worthless, right? So always keep in mind to siphon from the markets when available. EO saying Arca Bulls, what's up, my dude? Good to see you here. So Tony Rodriguez, I'm sure you've answered this many times. I'd like to get back to learning. I like to learn how I do it. Okay. So let's see. What first steps do you recommend I take for beginning? Well, I mean, the way I started learning, man, was actually reading first, and that's it was. Where are you, Tony? You're in the Discord. A lot of, let's see, XX. What's up, Arca? A lot of illegally shorted stocks have hired Christian Law Group for the last few months now. Oh, no way! So that law group is just gonna be the one, and that's why it's just so massively bullish too. Very, very cool. Okay, so yeah, let me. I guess I can switch device. It's all good. No problem, right? So I think it's under here, right? So yeah, go to the Discord. Did you say you do? Let's see. Tony Rodriguez, are you part of the Discord? All right, cool. Go up in here. Go up in the social affiliates. Click on the Arca recommends trading and education. Okay, so click on that. You're gonna see all the books that I've read thus far, and I would start off first with a very fundamental book, and I'm talking about fundamentals of technicals, right? So the chart reading and stuff. So that would be, but it also has a touch on actual fundamental analysis too, right? Like company valuations, all that good stuff. But click on that educational and educational content, right? And start off with Andrew Aziz, which is the How to Day Trade for a Living. That expresses some important information, man, and that's where I started. That's what got me going first, right? So I think it's very important for you to look at that first. All right, so start reading, start understanding what the metrics are, right, and then understand why the markets trade like they do in the first place, which is all explained in this book too. Okay, so a lot of this is psychology. A lot of this is popular belief. A lot of the times it is an actual validation or valuation of anything present. It's really just the overall belief of something being worth more or less than what it should be. So you'll get exposed into some really interesting concepts, and all of which are going to shape you as a trader and develop you in to face your own style of the market outlook. Okay, so that is my true honest opinion, though. I was recommended by my mentor to start looking at books, just reading books, and then once you read it, observe price action. What we're doing here, observing why candles do what they do. How is price action doing this, right? Why is it moving up in the first place? Is it tied to an index like the SPY, like right, like the NDX or the SPX? What is it like? What is it, right? So all of those things are things of just great importance here. Okay, so ticker symbol VIRI making a pullback here. Let's see, and I'm wondering if did I talk about this? Yeah, I did. Okay. We were talking about the head and shoulders potentially being a huge bear trap. All right. Oh, right. So, yeah, team, there is a shot at 122 here, okay? If we do get that 122 touch, I think that the price action can lead down to this target, 101 to 109. And that I think this area here could set a very interesting situation, because I don't think Viri's done. I don't think it's done. So I think this could be a bear trap here, or some type. I mean, it's already double. It's going to touch again, right back into that target, and that's a bear trap territory, right? It feels trappy to me. So it feels like there's like the longs, like the bulls are gonna start getting like this little crazy idea right now. They're just gonna trap some bears, and I mean respectfully so, right? So I mean, that's part of the game. So yeah, guys, I think that we could touch a little short-term bounce here from 122, validate the resistance of about 129 before facing this downside here to 109 to 101. Okay, so the reason why I'm mentioning that this target here could be the zone to look at and not this one here. I know that 112 is still, an inflection zone and everything, but the overall invalidation zone would be here, right? This is high confluence here, right? So any closure of a daily candle beneath 95.13, that would indicate a continuation to the downside pretty greatly, specifically to 69 cents. Okay, so keep an eye on that. So Mullen going for 15. Is it really? Damn. And has anyone even longed that, right? So I know Steve over here just printing. Congratulations, my bro. Yeah, so I'm telling you, I think 1550 is my target for today. If it does have enough FOMO play, then yeah, I'm potentially looking at that 1550, which I mean, it's showing high promise. That's very interesting. Okay, so Tony's saying definitely appreciate the advice. Well, don't say advice to someone who's talking about stocks, right? So let's call it a push in the right direction. Let me go ahead and say goodbye to my wife, guys. Just a moment, team. Hi, honey. All right, team. We are back. We are back and ready to attack. Let me go ahead and pull up my camera here to watch my boy make sure that he's not waking up and making a fuss over there. Right, gotta keep an eye on the big guy. But yeah, team. Oh man, I noticed actually that COSM made that critical touch to that very bottom side of that demand zone, right? 298 drop and then immediate recovery. Those immediate recoveries, man, those are the ones that flip the script, man. They really can make something entirely change direction here. So, and oh, nice. So VOCL is starting to show some of that promise to the upside, team. It's already about let's see, 2.69% up on the day. Yeah, I was talking about this play in the in a few videos before, right? It was showing that there could be a very nice pump to the upside based on a statistical move. Let's see. So LPB is saying, "Hi Arca, do you agree with the Twitter post from Jack Inhofe?" Dude, you're actually the second person to like freaking pull that one off, my bro. But so Tony Rodriguez, let's see. The rant in no way, dude. I try, man. I try. Man, I try my best, right? We try to get retail to be as safe as possible. You put so LPV putting the GTII in there. I'm like, oh man, what about GTII now? totally trapping Arca right here, man. But yeah, look at that, man. Look at Mullen absolutely making that rip to the upside. Super bullish, team. Congratulations to you if you actually ended up longing that, right? So here's a recovery, team. Check it out. TQQQ bouncing and the SPY, right? We were looking at that potential bounce from those moving averages in the shorter time frames. Ticker symbol APE is, man, look at that. So there is absolute pressure to the downside here within this, right? So let's see. Stick Vicious, COSM, Frank expects news sometime this week. No way. What? That is, it's showing in the charts, man. That it is showing in the charts. I mean, I'm liking it, bro. So let's go ahead and what the heck is going on here? Hold on just a sec. All right, there we go. Just a moment, team. Just a moment. All right, here we go. Anyway, so yeah, man. So he's expecting that news coming in. That's he sells you lemons. What is it? Was it a Toyota commercial? They used to say, "You won't sell your lemons." At Toyota of Orange. I remember that. I remember that that commercial when I was young. It was it was so ridiculous. It got me to sing it even in high school, man. I'm like, what? Why am I singing that here? And like looking at some really pretty girls next to me, I'm like, why did I just sing that? Like super cringy 16-year-old times, you guys. Do not want to remember that ever again. Stop Arca from remembering his cringy times. All right. Anyway, team. So yeah, let's go ahead and go back and touch down with some of these tickers that we've been looking at, right? So XX saying a lot of these riders talking down AMC, trying to get people to bail, right? So typical BS shows they are afraid of something. Man. MCOM just pumped. What is MCOM, by the way? It's possible, man. See, the Cars for Kids is the song that got me, really? Dude. Let's see. Casey saying, you won't get a lemon at Toyota of Orange. That one. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe Casey right here remembered it, man. Dude, I was singing that. In high school. I wasn't even in freaking Orange County. I was way deep Los Angeles, like North Hollywood. Ah, man, that's so funny. So MCOM is the HLBZ. That was the Hell Biz. Dude, oh my goodness. Yeah, man, Casey, I haven't heard that in forever. Man, it's like I was about to put it on the mic right now, and I'm just thinking to myself, if I'm going to get copyright claim for showing the Toyota of Orange, oh my goodness, dude. I'd be doing them a favor. They should say thank you. Dude, that's ridiculous, man. Anyway, so yeah, I forgot the lyrics too. That's so ridiculous. Anyway, team, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that ticker. So MCOM, let's see what's up, man. So, what I do remember, team, is that Hellbiz. Oh, what? I'm sorry. What are we trying to do with this? Damn. Oh my goodness in heaven. This is. Are you trying to see if there's a potential floor being found? Because that looks like some type of floor, right? But there's also zero to consider, right? But I mean, what I mean by zero is literally 1 cent, right? But it's moving to the upside. But based on what? Let's see if there's news on this. So 2 days ago, MCOM Inc. files for offering of the 4 million shares of Class A common. Oh. Okay, but is it worth a pump? Is it actually? I mean, was that it, or is this actually it? Right. So, the opening of the day was around 11:29. It actually dipped all the way back down to 1050, creating a 52-week low, and then it pumped to the upside. So technically, if you were long at the opening, then you are only up about 9%. This would be take profit for me right now. So if you long this anywhere at 11:29, I would get out. And why am I saying that is because of this, right? I don't mean that in any spiteful way. I really do mean it. When you have actually capitulation events like this, that usually traps a great deal of, a great amount of people, right? So the psychology tends to being like, I want to get back to break even, or I'll just take anything, right? So if they show any sign of a pump right here and they see their account go up $300 or $1,000, they're like, I'll take it, get out, and it capitulates again, creating downside pressure. Right. What I would like you to notice, though, is that there is kind of a setup happening here in the daily time frame, although it does not have DMI support. Okay, so this is the contraction zone or contraction phase, right? It's actually from expansion starting to contract, and you have the upside pivots on both the EMA3 and SMA14. That's usually indicative of a continuation to the upside, specifically because the shorter time frames are potentially showing that, right? So 12-hour time frame. We're starting to get that upside pivot on the EMA3. The blue one is the SMA14. That's the lagging one, okay? So the faster one would be the EMA3. Let me see the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so 4-hour time frame is starting to show some correction here. Yeah, I think that I wouldn't trust a ticker like this too much. It is moving to the upside. I like it. And I'll give you a range here, okay? So I'm thinking that I could actually reach 1422 to the top side of about 1525. Okay, so if it does get that, I wouldn't just. These are one of those tickers, man, that I would not hold actually for longer than even an hour, right? So this would just be playing the momentum and get out. 12 cents, you guys. That's very dangerous. Okay, that's super dangerous. You don't want to trade things like that, man, especially when we're first diving into the markets, right? So look at this market cap at 1.45 million, and the float is sitting at a very small 11.3 million. That is very, very dangerous. Okay, this thing can get mangled up and down with literally any valuation, right? Any schmuck with a $10,000 account can make this thing rip to the upside and then capitulate, right? So be very careful. Be very careful with tickers like this, okay? So I know they present very nice opportunities, but trust me when I say tickers like BABA, tickers like TSLA, Meta, tickers like those tend to present a little more value, particularly for the rules, right? So it sticks to the traditional rules of trading a little more than normal. And also remember that smaller accounts for traders would usually be accounts that are more exposed to options trading because it's in all essence some type of leverage, right? So options trading can be bullish, but I would really, really, really suggest learning your Greeks and other methods, right? Open interest, learn implied volatility, learn specific strategies regarding options, right? In fact, we actually just opened up an options channel in the Discord members, right? So go ahead and and take a gander at that whenever you can. So as I am kind of presenting some small education within it, right? So today I'm going to release. Let me pull it up, right? So it's actually options plays right in here, right? So the last time I posted here was actually in reference to what delta means, right? So I'm gonna shout out another everyone tonight, and I'm gonna put what gamma means, right? So every other day or every day, I'm just gonna be posting up different things of what you should be looking out for in the options trading, right? So I'm not actually teaching it. I'm just kind of sharing my 2 cents, right? My learnings thus far. So, and now remember that I'm not the best options trader in the world. I do know a fair bit of them, right? But I don't actually practice them myself. In fact, I'm actually waiting to liquidate all my positions from every account I have, as I'm going to start futures trading fairly soon. So, did you hear a rumor? No. Is that true? Hey, Sebastian. Could be sympathy play for Mullen Pump. Yeah, I think so. Sig Vicious, that could be right on, brother. It could very well be it. So Sebastian, do you see that, bro? Is that true? Yeah, we can look at KPRX. Sorry. Let's look at that right now. But the rumor that you're looking at down there, LPB just put that up. Is that true? I know you're the pro here, so let me know what's going down with FNGR and if you've heard about that. Because you know me, I'm not a follower of too much fundamentals unless they're particular fundamentals. But KPRX, yeah, bro. Let me pull it up for you, and we'll take a look at that immediately. Let's see what it's got for us. So let's see. Yeah, Chiral Pharmaceuticals. Okay, cool. Let's see. Yeah, I never heard about that either. So Destiny's saying, are you going to teach us futures trading in the master's course? No. That is something entirely. It's a whole other beast, right? So futures contracts are essentially contracts like options are, but they're not the same whatsoever, as there's no open interest or Greeks to follow within the futures. Within futures trading, and the other reason why I probably shouldn't is because futures is essentially leveraged, right? And it's leveraged big time. I mean, WTI, the crude oil, I think it's upwards of $10,000 or $15,000 a contract, like for real, right? Of course, brokers like AMP and others would allow you to trade full-on leverage with an exposure of about $400 minimum in your brokerage account, right? So meaning that would be your full exposure to your market. So remember, Daryl, I'm looking at Mullen 1550. Keep an eye on that target. 1550 would be a very nice area to kind of pull back from, right? It's 1515, 1520. This is the resistance level you're looking at, right? To be very clear here, it's going to be 1550 to the top side of the range of about 1611. I'll draw it in here, right? So it's getting very close, but this is what we spoke about 10 minutes ago, right? So you can see it. You can see it in the momentum. I'll put it right about here. 1550 to about 1615 is the kind of the resistance I'm looking for. Nice little inflection zone here, right? That could be a nice area for us to pull back and validate the SMA 10 as a support before a continuation to the upside. It's getting dangerously close to it. But yeah, remember, man, I was saying that you're still subject to continuation to the upside, right? So I think we were saying it from around 14 something, right? So yeah, this is it's not a bad area to consider here, guys. That there's going to be some pro traders that are going to get out at that point. So some downside. I mean, I'm talking about whales, like retail whales, right? So as soon as they sell here, those are huge positions, and those would be essentially massive. It would increase the supply, like crazy, right? So meaning that the price action would actually reject, and it'll come down a fair bit. So I still don't trust Mullen. I still don't either, my bro. And that's, look, Stick Vicious even said it, right? He's talking about a potential. He's talking about this being a potential sympathy run, right? So and I do get it. I know that this is a very good a catalyst, regarding the naked short selling, but like I said too, team, at any moment, people are just going to want their money back at some point, right? They're not really looking for the investment anymore within MULN. I'm not sure of that, right? But this narrative could have changed it. Who knows? But I'm not gonna touch this thing with a 15-foot pole, man. It's just it's bullish. I like it, but there are literally freaking 30,000 other tickers that we can look at, right? So like, we don't have to stick to this one here. It's a lot of sentiment, a lot of psychology within this ticker. So, you know, and I don't mean any offense by this, but that's why I say that these are psychologically impaired assets that have just the need for take profits. Here you go, guys. 1543, 1545, 1550. Here's one of the resistances. The top side of about 1615 could be the spot to look at, right? So 1548. This is already a very critical resistance here, you guys. So let's see if we can get that top side and then a rejection, right? So this is it's incredibly strong. It's barely beginning that upside. In fact, if anything, I would almost just I would almost feel like this is probably going to continue to the upside for a few days, right? So, but I can't validate that, and there's no back test for it because this is entirely just psychological. Everything about it is just psychology at play. So buy more FNGR, not financial advice, says Sebastian Lim. So let's see, John, for options trading, perhaps join forces with Charlie's vids on YouTube or FUDStop Discord. His options Python program, very sophisticated. So he's doing it on Python. Python program for what, though? For what broker? I assume that he's... I don't even know a broker that speaks Python. So he's actually probably writing it on Python and connecting it to a broker somehow. So let's see. Similarly started YouTube career contradicting the AMC hype. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, that AMC stuff is very difficult. So Stickfish is saying luck is not educated. Yeah, no. Although I do have to say that it does play a fair bit into trading, right? Especially like in my experience here. I'm not gonna say that it was all because of my skill. I made it my own, and I'll sell a blank disc. Right? I'm not going to say that at all. I think some luck had to play within that, right? But essentially, the learnings and the knowledge that is able to be shared, that was essentially what spoke the loudest, right? So it's already facing a high of 1585, team. Okay, so we're looking at a top side of the range of around 1615. Who knows, right? So, but this is already a pretty critical resistance to face. Very, very strong day for Mullen. Let's see that Mullen volume on the day. 516 million on the day. It's damn. And look at the time, right? What time is it? It's 9:57, guys. It's usually 9:30 to 10:30. I know it's been pumping for a while, but it's just as you approach 9:30, that's like it's already starting to change that. 15.99, guys. 16 now, approaching that top side of the range, and it might actually freaking combat it. But this is already my take profit zone if I were to have been trading this, right? So let's see. You had an opening of about 10:31 on the day, and this thing has already reached 16, right? So yeah, it's feeling that resistance there, team. But man, who knows? This is FOMO at its best already. Crazy candle, guys. 517 million. This thing is, and counting. That is insanity. That is very, very strong trend. Oh my goodness. So I've been saying that since $1. Dude, oh my goodness. Yeah, but John Smith, thank you so much for sharing that, my brother. I don't think I'm gonna dive into options too much because I'm about to start trading the futures contracts, right? So, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna look at the current market conditions, right? It's just and other tickers, right? So, Berenson, what's up, man? So Cryptic Trader saying tomorrow watch for a Mullen red candle, same size as the one you see today. Seriously, man, that's really how it plays out. A lot of the times, guys, it's just we get this massive pump to the upside and it becomes this huge liquidity trap, right? But like I said, the catalyst is very bullish. I like that David or whatever his name is, right? The CEO is starting to realize that yeah, there is quite the need for combating naked shorts, right? So I get it. I totally get it. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be over in a day. That just means that it's a process that's going to start, and it should have longer term implications, right? So we have to observe those things. So something to actually study that would be pretty good would actually be the announcement of VOCL when they were CRTD, right? Created Inc. So to study VOCL when they were created, CRTD, and when they announced that they were going to start the fight against naked shorts, right? So it's terrible that we can't see the price action, but actually you may actually see the price action because I have several videos on it, right? From what was happening back in that time. So that would give you a clear idea as to how the sentiment reacts based on the naked short selling fight reaction, right? So if you do get a pattern or some type of typical target recognition, then yeah, that could be a nice place to start. Just look for the tickers to where you are seeing the fight against naked shorts, and particularly with that Christian law firm, right? So that could give you a statistic. And that could give you, on average, what happens, right? So look at the day of announcement. Look at the following day, all right? So Zephram, what's up, my dude? So have any of the other naked short investigations from other companies yielded anything? That is a very good question. I'm not even sure that they've that there's been any. Has there actually been any resolution? Right. So I mean, we're talking about this starting from. I mean, even before GME though, but relative to the current times, GME was essentially the start of that, right? So I don't think we have had any type of resolution from any of these highly speculated plays, and I'm not sure if this is a way to gain capital either, right? So I know that I'm speculating heavily here, right? So I just want to make sure that retail can observe this in many ways, right? So I played my part, team. I did play my part for some time, right? I invested around $8,000 to AMC and its run. That was really all I had, right? So as a savings, so I went long on that when I didn't know how to trade, right? So that turned into literally nothing over time, and there was always that fight, and I mean, let's see. So let's see. What are you guys saying? So Baronson's saying, did we check SOUN? If so, my apologies. No, we have, but we can look at it again, my brother. Just getting a little sip of water here, feeling very good. And I gotta say, team, it's a little bit of a cooler day today outside, so the little AC unit in here that's working, it's actually pushing. I mean, it's been working very well, and it keeps it cool in the studio, right? But now that it's not 107 degrees, in fact, it's around like 88 or 86 or something here in Palmdale, and it's showing it's very, very cool in here. Sebastian Lim, KPRX, did we? Right, we never actually got to see it. Sorry, bro. Dude, what? Oh my goodness. So KPRX, are you trying to long this? Because there is an interesting setup. There may actually be a reaccumulation now. Hold on. You just want finger to 20 and GTI at 4. Bro, that would be millionaires everywhere, right? Man, that would be so cool. 30-minute time frame showing an upside pivot on volatility versus momentum. So yeah, okay, hold on just a sec, because this thing, yes, it looks bullish, but there is still some ebb and flow to keep in mind here. Okay, so in other words, I'm seeing up and down on time frames. This usually means consolidation. Well, I mean, literally all this, right? So there was a little bit of a fake out here in the early part of the morning. Okay, so if we're sitting, the SMA 10 is the next drop, right? So 65.33. The only thing is that I'm not sure. Let me pull up the screener. I'm not sure that this thing can continue to the upside just yet. Okay, so let me pull the screener here and put in some valuations at 0 mark. So nothing is actually giving me any type of bias here, right? So let me pull up KPRX. So KPRX, come on, are we going to search it or what? Oh my god, it is giving me a valuation of nothing here. So let me see if I can actually do literally nothing. KPRX, here we go. Look at this, bro. I want you to be very careful with this, okay? You have a 5-cent average true range here, okay? Man, this is and you're getting the volume of 10 days, 10-day volume, bro, 294,000. I don't want you to get trapped in this, okay? Because June 15th, chlorpharmaceuticals, okay, sent animal care and amend existing manufacturing licensing agreement for KIO 201. Okay, so this is, I'm not seeing any, unless you know something that's actually going to pop off soon. LCID, I'm going to look at it right after this, my brother. My apologies to you. Yeah, that's entirely my bad. I didn't mean for that to happen, my brother. Of course we can look at that for you. Let's do that. So I'm just going to finish off with KPRX. And then we'll move on to Lucid Group, as I know that's, yeah. Oh my goodness, it surpassed the targets that we were talking about already. Met every single one of them. Very, very bullish asset. Ooh, dude, this thing is on its way. SMA 100, 2.618 at 768 is my next target for this thing, and it looks like it actually may attempt it today. Man, oh man, that's nice. But yeah, I'm gonna come right back to this. So KPRX. Mullen going for 1750. The volume is it actually did continue beyond the 1620 or 16 whatever. I forgot where the hell it is. There it is. Yeah, passed beyond our target, right? So huge volume. Oh my goodness, 525 million, guys. That is a difference of 8 million in volume over the last 5 minutes. This is insanity. This is really, really frothy, guys. This is not something to long right now. If you didn't catch entry down here somewhere at 10 cents, then this is. I mean, I would not. I would really have you stay away. Okay, team, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't follow these things. It's a very tricky situation trying to see tickers that do these types of things. Okay. Don't do that, okay? I'm telling you this from experience. We got to stay away. We got to stay away from things like this as much as possible. Cryptic Trader and I have a very similar trading style, so just a discretionary style, right? So take it from both of us. Don't long this. What's happening, everyone? All about Mullen today. Yeah, huge price action, man. Look at the volume sitting at 527 million and counting. This is just extraordinary volume, guys. And which is why I'm saying that this could present a very, very. When is the? I guess we would have to find out when the next major. I'm going to finish off with KPRX and go into Lucid, but we need to figure out when the next major. What is it called? Expiration for options is going to be. I know, obviously this Friday, right? But the next major options expiry could introduce a potential gamma ramp if the volume continues as such. So, man. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, brother. It feels like it could be just another liquidity trap, right? And it'll create another lower low from it. I don't want to be bearish on it. It's just I want people to also look at the realistic implications based on moves to the upside that are that fast, right? What goes up fast must come down fast. Typical theory. My average on Mullen is still around 52. I have a ways to go before I can get out. Damn it. Oh. That is a high target, my brother. I hope that this thing can actually reach that. That would be nice. I'm sure your account is reflecting some pretty nice regains, from what it's lost thus far. So congrats to anyone who caught the run, right? Yeah, congrats to you if you did catch that run from 10, 11, 12 cents, right? That is a very nice upside gain thus far. So don't worry about breaking even. Just recover what you can. That is literally what I'm saying, bro. And that is right exactly why I'm trying to get out of AMC. Just like that. So Lucid Motors actually, or Lucid Group, right? Let's take a look at this because this could be, guys. We saw this the last time too. Huge price action here, right? We're looking at a resistance touch, particularly to this top side of the gap. So very nice cover of this gap over the whole day. Price action literally just slid there on the previous day being Monday, right? And the price action today did face a pretty nice downside. In fact, a reaccumulation event, right? So right down here, we came right back down to this candle low, creating this there's not an imbalance here, so that's very good. Okay, so that means that there's no reason to come back and validate anything. In fact, if we are to come back and validate anything, it would actually just be the crossing of these two ranges here, right at about 720 to around 714. I'm sorry, 720 to 715, right? So now the topside target that I'm looking at for the day, and it seems that it could actually reach it. It would be about 771 to the SMA 100 here on the daily time frame. So daily time frame, I mean, remember, team, we're talking about a very powerful moving average here. Okay, 771 could be the top side of the range where this thing could actually face a pullback and retest the SMA 50. By then, the SMA 50 could be located upwards of $7, of course, but I would say a pretty nice pullback to be faced from down here. So let's look at the volume presently. So you're looking at a volume of, I mean, this is nice. Yeah, this is very nice. 36 million in volume traded today, right? So 53 million in volume traded on Monday. Friday, you were looking at 73 million. So this, guys, there's an absolute interest here, right? So what I would have to say is that this thing, yeah, like I'm saying, the pullback can happen at about 771, and there is a reason for it too, right? So as you can see here, there is a decline in volume for the last, I'd say, 3 or 4 days, and that with inclining price usually creates a bearish divergence, right? So that divergent iteration here of volume versus price action can indicate not a capitulation. It would indicate just a pullback, right? A breather, it would, if you will, right? So I think that with good enough volume today, we can actually get that nice touch to about 771 or just slightly under it if it can. Right, and then get that pullback to face that reaccumulation at 694. This would essentially be the re-entry zone for a nice trade to the upside. Okay, team. So that would look incredible in your portfolio if you are able to capitalize on the short-term scalps or short-term momentum trades on this. Right. So, and I know also Lucid must have the options chain open. Right. So. Yeah, keep an eye on this because this thing still shows a high bit of promise. Let me look at the 4-hour momentum. This is already kind of peaking to the top. It still has an upside pivot, right? So which is good. Same situation here on the RSI, right? It's kind of already starting to face that little bit of weakness here, which could be a limited upside even still. So if we can't face that 771 team, then the top side of the high of 751 could have been it already. And we're at 745 right now. So just ever so slightly, a little hair away from that target, right? So now that you're starting to see these wicks, right? Start to see these wicks to the upside. That is usually weakness for the bulls, right? So, and there could be a drop here, particularly the 4-hour time frame, SMA 14 down here, right? So that could be indicative of an SMA 10 touch at 719. But the overall zone that I'm looking at for re-entry is essentially where the SMA 200 4-hour is, 694 to 682. And that could present a pretty nice opportunity, right? So TTOO has FDA approval in the pipeline. They have a meeting with NASDAQ for MVIS extension, okay, which they're most likely going to be granted. I forgot where it's sitting in the price action. Let me see. So you're talking about, they already have the meeting with it, so that's very good. Let's see. So that's going to be ticker symbol TTOO. I know this is one that the T2 Biosystems, you and I have been looking at it for a few times already, right? So they did get that news. When did that news come out? I don't see it here, brother. Let's see. Tell me, wait a second. Brother, where are you getting, how did you get that, the news, by the way? I'm very curious. If you're getting some earlier news, are you paying for the, it was in the filings. Okay, got it. I understand now. I thought you were paying for that. I think Benzinga has the software for fundamental releases that are pretty fast. So I'm praying on FNGR and GTII, says Jennifer. What's up, Jennifer? You've been a little quieter today. I'm so happy that you're still here hanging out. Very appreciative of you. And FNGR and Finger are making just some nice moves to the upside, right? So Look at the top side target right now. High of 1818. Very impressive. My goodness, man. Huge valuation, team. Okay, so LCID. Remember this, okay, team. Remember this. I think that we may. I don't know if it can reach it, right? So, but I think that 771 was that range that I'm looking for. This is reaccumulating one more time, team, and I do think that there's still some more upside to figure here. So, if I were to be honest, I think LCID could face a top side to the 2-spot 618, located right where the SMA 200 is on the 8-hour. At 768, I can see this happening maybe by about, let's see. So we're on Wednesday right now, right? I know it's a short week, which actually impairs the market a bit. So if we're getting this upside suggestion on the upper time frames, yeah, I'd say maybe Friday or Monday we can be upwards of about 768 on this asset, right? So from the current price of about 744, you're looking at an additional. And this would be where you would practice your discretion, right, to see if it's even worth the money. So you're looking at an additional 3% to the upside, ever so slightly above it, right? So from that point there, the 2-spot 618 could work as a pretty nice area of resistance to come back and validate the current highs as a support before a continuation to the upside, right? So just make sure, okay? So at this point, right? So if you're already trading this and you're long this and you're waiting for that pullback, to happen right at about 769 or 768, I would actually start to liquidate positions somewhere at about 765. Right, because this thing oftentimes profits are taken a little bit early, right? So if we can capitalize on that, sure, that's nice, right? So I just wouldn't give back anything that you've gained thus far. Now I know that some people are also holding LCID, as a loss, right? Yeah, we have. Well, we'll touch on it again, my brother. Cal, what's up, my bro? Good to see you here. Hope Mullen rip to $5 again. I'll jump in at 13 cents. Dude, this thing is just dude, bro. It's how the heck is that? I mean, the naked short thesis, bro. That's huge. It's a massive run to the upside. Yeah, Jennifer saying, "Where's Lions?" Oh my goodness, Lion trading. I haven't seen the dude come up. But I know you're pushing that guy. Daniel, what's up, dude? What's up? Good to see you here. Yes, not long ago. So. Let's see. So Steve's saying, I'm sure that's my problem. I'm not a pro and don't claim to be. I'm also a long-term investor for the. Okay, yeah. So Steve, yeah, that's a very good thing to say, right? So yeah, investors, of course, have the higher tolerance for holding an asset, fair beyond a year, right? So the immediate short-term price action doesn't mean much to you, which is really how an investor should look at things, right? Because if you feel that the fair value of the asset is worth at this dollar value or whatever value you're looking at, then sure, right? That's a good place to enter for, because it's not going to matter whether you enter at 14 or $13 when the price action in 2 years you expect to be around 28 or 30. Right, so the short-term time frame shouldn't matter too much. But as a short-term trader, as a momentum trader, day trader, whatever, a scalper, right? Those small, that ebb and flow, that small range is what you essentially capitalize, right? As a short-term trader. But let's see. But I'm bag holding in 4 or 5 stocks because of my unwillingness to sell for a loss. So yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, so. So if I'm going to be honest with you, Steve, I think that, particularly to some of the students that I teach, I encourage the loss, in fact, but if a controlled amount of loss, right? So if you have a exposure to a ticker that may actually show a downside, then a stop loss, a physical stop loss, as a rule, should not be broken, right? So you can say that I'm willing to risk whatever amount you're willing to risk, right? With a loss of this, in the event to where the price action does go against my favor, right? So oftentimes when the price action does go against your favor, more often than not, it'll continue going against your favor. So it's very critical that you can observe that potential. So taking a 3%, 4%, 5% max loss, whatever your tolerance is absolutely imperative to your portfolio for the survival, right? So I'm talking for the next day trade to survive for yet again another trade on another day. So keep your eyes on that. It's a very dangerous world out there. It's a very dog eat dog world too, right? So it's especially in the day trade and short term trade situations, right? I promise you, there are traders out there who play the narrative, and they really see this as a competitive field, which in all honesty, yeah, it really is, right? So I would just be very careful, and I would encourage a controlled amount of small losses than a random amount of large losses, right? It's better to take. I mean, it's said in the pro world, right, that there is the biggest loser is the biggest winner, right? So it's said for a reason, right? So managing your risk and versus reward is absolutely something that should be looked at. So I hope that can shed some light. So yeah, I gave up on AMC and A, but me too, my brother. I'm right about there too. Let's look at the broader markets, by the way. 443.15 on the SPY. TQQQ sitting at 41.34. I have exposure to the markets right now. I am long the TQQQ with about eight options calls, right? So these the call options they have an expiry of about 2 months out, and they have a strike price of $42. So I am very close to getting at the money slight, and then also in the money, right? That would create a gamma ramp for these options calls, and they would essentially send the price action to the moon upon realizing their strike price. Going into the money would increase. That would be an implied volatility pump, right? So IV pump would actually increase open interest, and then your Vega would increase as well versus your Delta and Gamma being applied to Delta. So all of that is essentially what I'm waiting for here. Just to be completely transparent, just waiting for that 42 touch, get that in the money price action from the options and liquidate all of them in that shot, right? Huge pump to the upside based on that. So let's keep on going here, team. Okay, let's see what we have. So Jennifer saying I cut off my AMC and APE and bought GTII. Man, GTII is so freaking dangerous, right? So, and I know GTII could be making a rip too. I think there's a lot of positive sentiment right now happening within it. And I mean, 12-hour volatility versus momentum showing some pretty nice upside too. And if you can look very closely here, the RSI on the 12-hour time frame facing a potential support at that SMA 14 in the gravitational zone. There's a high probability here that we can get that bounce from the SMA 14, bounce to the upside from here, and essentially get the next resistance touch, which I'm looking at to be at around 36.96. I'm sorry, I'm looking at GTBP, right? So let me go back into GTII and stop being a freaking fool. Anyway, so here we go, team. The touch, God, are you serious? Where is it? Where's my GTII ticker? Always on the first freaking thing. Here we go. Okay, team. So going back to this channel again with the channel. Oh, this is so annoying. Okay, so I'm going to have to release the target at some point. Let's see, Jennifer saying, if you sell a call, does it count towards a 3-day limit of... Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that would be a position entry, position exit is literally position entry and exit. And I had the same question, by the way, a couple years back. So be careful with that. Team, GTII, it's still respecting this massive channel, which has a huge upside to it, right? So keep your eyes on this target here, okay? Because there could be a reaccumulation back to the zone that we tested just on the prior month close. Remember, team, that we're going to face a lot of shift in the markets. The semi-annual close just happened on Friday, okay? It happens once a year, and that 6-month close is when the institutions, I'm talking about big money, not market makers, I'm talking about big money, smart money, hedge funds, institutional traders, right? That type of thing is right when these their portfolios are rebalanced. So they'll let go. They'll let go at the semi-annual close. They'll let go of their losers and probably every other position that they have, right? So whatever they need to rebalance, it will happen within that time frame, which creates extra volatility in the markets and some uncertainty to the markets too, right? Because we don't know what they have as a losing position. We don't know what they have as a winning position either. And they're hedge funds, so they're likely hedging against a loser. So a lot of that presents an extra amount of volatility in the markets. I am breaking a rule actually right now by being exposed to the markets with these calls. I really felt that the shift in the GDP numbers that we got on Friday or Monday, I think it was, that essentially rallied the markets, right? So that's I was very bullish on that. I'm bullish on a few things actually, considering that. So that this is why I'm long the markets, and I'm long the markets triple leveraged, right? So TQQQ is just the pro shares for the Nasdaq, but just a triple lever, right? So the SQQQ would be the inverse pro shares, the short pro shares with a 2x lever downside. Okay, so inverse to the broader markets. All right, team. So Steve Mertz saying buying more GTII today as well. Be very careful with that, my brother. So GTII, I was talking about that 71.28 target. Okay, keep an eye on that, because that could be a clear demand zone again. Okay, so yeah, right here. Look at that 728. I forgot. It is the 2.618. So right in that area, there could be a very nice touch at that downside. Okay, so keep safe. All right, yeah. Let's go ahead. Sebastian Lim saying prefers. Yeah, I think so too. His bias is towards FNGR. He has been studying FNGR for some time, and here he goes. We're getting that pump to the upside right around what time? What time is it, team? What time is it? We talk about it every day. Look at this, 10:25 a.m. Getting that pump to the upside. Right. Remember what we speak about. Remember always, the shift in the market algorithms happen at 10:30 a.m. Okay, so upon approaching that 10:30 a.m. is when the shift starts to get that implementation. So, which in other words, starts close to 9:30, right? So 9:30 to 10:30 is a nice threshold for something that's been showing some downside and then a recovery, specifically for the broader markets and things built under the S&P 500 and all that good stuff, right, team? So I'll be able to give you more of an in-depth look to this in the future, because I am going to be essentially liquidating every position. I'm going to be trading the E-mini, right? The micro E-mini S&P 500, or I'm going to be trading the crude oil, right? WTI in futures. So it's just it's such a liquid market. And if you guys are ever curious in futures, I can't really, I don't know that I can just teach this, right? Because of the leverage that is exposed, that you're exposed to, is high leverage, right? So, but what I can say is that there is high liquidity there. And one more thing is of critical importance here. This is going to spark a lot of ears. So, futures market is not subject to dark pool trading. So the futures market is essentially the valuation of whatever an asset class is going to be worth in the future, which is literally why it's called futures, right? Hence the name. So if you want to trade something that's exposed to traditional market rules and traditional price action, then that would be it, team. It would be futures contracts, and that's it's very much you haven't lived until you're 100x levered in crypto. Dude, that was totally me degenning on that bull cycle, bro. Zeph. Oh my goodness, man. 386 on FNGR says Jennifer, no way. Is that serious? Why? What the hell? Man, I mean, the fight is for real there. Where is FNGR today? Here it is. Oh my goodness. Remember, team, that I'm still waiting for it. I'm telling you, 423 is the target that I'm still looking at, and I do believe this to be reached in the next 2 or 3 days, right? So I would yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I am bullish the asset. It's just it's still within the SPAC range, right? So it's just it's gonna show some variance there, okay? But yeah, I think 423 could be the target to look at. Kellel says to like the button, guys. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that notification bell so that you are aware and notified whenever I am streaming live or posting up a video, right, team? So we're going to be posting up a few videos tonight as well, including GTII. I do have to look at CLNV again because that thing is setting up for something. VOCL is another one that, VOCL was the other one that we were looking at for a potential, what is it, a 190, I think it was a 91 or 97% move to the upside based on a back test, right? So very nice stuff. So Sebastian saying... Oh, dude. Cryptic Trader, your method, big tickers is big. Yeah, man, it really is. It's just, everything under the sun or the popular. Yeah, look at this, guys. I think, I'm not sure if I actually ended up touching on TTOO. Huge rejection. Okay, guys, if we're trading TTOO, be careful with this, okay? This is in the process of printing a massive shooting star here on the daily, okay? We have 2 hours and 30 minutes. I know it's still kind of a long ways away from closing this candle, but if it does print in this fashion, then expect a pullback here. Expect a pullback here that can test the bottom side of the range of around 653 to 666. It may be more likely than not, right? This type of price action is usually indicative of an exhaustion, right, from the bull's perspective. So, Dan Love, what is up, my brother? Good to see you here. And yeah, why don't we take a look at MRES? What's going on with that? So MRES, right? So that's the Institute of Biomedical Research. Wow, with good reason, man. This has been ripping for days. This is a week of rip. SMA 200 conversion into a support is already done on the daily. That's remember, team, that this is indicative of a potential continuation to the upside when converting that SMA 200 on the daily into support. That's powerful. Okay, so what I would have to say here is that it's still, if we're looking at a top side, pay attention to this, okay? If we're looking at a top side of about 266. Then the higher probability would be that we are at a critical resistance since we are in a regression. Okay, this regression is what I'm speaking of. Okay, you can see that we're in a series of lower highs. Okay, so, and I mean, arguably speaking, this could also be a large pennant. It could be a huge continuation formation. Right, so let me look at this on a larger time frame, maybe the 3-day, and let me get the averages out of the way too. Yeah, it's looking like a right angle triangle. This is sometimes it's a bit dangerous to look at things like this, but it's not bad. Okay, and here it is. It's actually this candle here, and you're looking at this perfectly horizontal line there. So, and there is a massive amount of space still to go. So I'm not sure that this is actually going to make the breakout happen just yet because it feels a little premature. Okay, but I mean, nonetheless, never doubt what an asset can do, right? So I'm just saying that particularly to these cycles, they're very long, right? So they take kind of a long time in order for a next shift to start happening. So but in a macro time frame, guys, I am bullish on this. It's just I just have to say that it's too cheap, right? It's very dangerous. This can pose some serious losses. Okay, so but there is a clean narrative on this, and I can see it already happening, right? So first of all, in formation theory, yeah, you have a little. Yeah, you have a little inverse herpy derpy here, right? So you're looking at your left shoulder here. It's a double inverted head and shoulders, right? So double shoulders is okay too. So you're looking at shoulders, head and shoulders here. So we can look at a price objective, right? Let's go ahead and do that anyway, just in case. And remember, team, sometimes sometimes the formation theory tends to play out nicely. Sometimes it doesn't. But that's why we have to play risk management, okay? So this is suggesting a top side of around 793, which is just so big. Does it even have... There's no news, by the way. I'm not sure why this thing is running like that. right? So if I guess we can validate it with some type of retracement here, and I can't even do that. I really can't even do that. Let me see what was a retracement candle. Oh goodness, I can't. Yeah, this has to be an overall fib because it's just a 5-day. It's too. I can't even do that. Damn. Yeah, I can't even. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to even validate that. Maybe actually reversion, or Gaussian. Oh, yeah, that's good that we're seeing this. Damn it, it's very good that we're seeing this. Check it out, team. This is very powerful. Okay, so this is breaking out of the Gaussian channel top band. Okay, so the resistance that we're facing, sure, that's great, and it's also needed, right? When you're breaking out of the Gaussian channel, usually a retest of that top side is, I don't want to say it's absolutely needed, but I am going to express to you that it's a higher probability for price action to retrace back into the 229 zone before a continuation to the upside. Let's go, Cal. Yeah, dude. So I'm really thinking that we can retrace ever so slightly here and then get that upside. Okay, be very careful with this ticker. This is overextension. Although we're showing, let's see. Yeah, we're cooking the RSI. We're cooking stochastic momentum, and that MACD is so. I mean, historically speaking, it can still go higher. Jeez, man. Let's keep on looking at this. 2-hour time frame pullback, hourly time frame pullback, 30-minute likely pullback. Right, it's actually recovering now. Why, guys? Why is this moving? What, do you guys know? Daryl, SPCE, we'll look at it. Do you guys know why this is rallying to the upside? Is there anything? 6-hour time frame giving us the target actually. So let me look at the 4-hour RSI. Yes. Okay. Yeah, 6-hour time frame is giving us that pullback. Let me move the averages into place, and I think we're going to get a pullback to the EMA 7. So let me load the EMA 7 into place here and see where that is. Nice, right at that zone. Yeah. So 212 to 229 team is essentially the zone that we want to look at here for a potential long. Okay. So 229 to 212 is that range. If we're going to touch the SMA 10, I think the SMA 10 is going to eventually recover. Okay, so let's go back to 229, just like this. Very nice. Okay, so let's see, MRES applied for a ticker and name change. Oh, okay, so that's so now Daryl is saying MRES Institute of Biomedical Research announces application for name change and new ticker symbol in anticipation of future M&A activities and senior listing. Okay, so it is ripping on pretty good news. And upon the change, so this is the pricing of the asset, right? So this is the in anticipation of that news, or in anticipation of the actual name change, the markets are pricing this in. Okay, so what I can say is that since it's being pre-priced in, then if it actually happens, then there might be a continuation to a pump. But if it doesn't happen, the capitulation back to the mean would be ridiculous. So if this thing has the power to reach upwards of 3, maybe even 4 cents, the reversion here would probably land back into the area of about 1 cent. So you don't want to be trapped in that situation. If you are running this to the upside, and if you are not paying attention to it, it's probably fair to consider a trailing stop loss. Maybe if you're willing to lose 3% of whatever gain you have, or 2%, it depends on your style, right? So I in my QQQ this strategy here that the cryptic trader asks me about often, the trailing stop loss is 5% in this, right? But this is for the QQQ. And having a 5% trailing stop loss has led me to a 98% profitability. I'm forward testing this. It's already a month in. Okay, so this is a strategy. It's called the Forecast Plus. Okay, so this is based on the footprint. This is based on volatility. So I'm getting, okay, I can just be clear about this, right? So let's just say that you started with a $50,000 base account, and your order size max leverage could be 20,000 contracts or shares, right? Based on the $50,000 initial capital, we set the commissions to 0.005, which is typical for a broker, right? So, and within that, the inputs are what are specific, right? So I have an RSI length at an 8 period, not a 14. I am using a volume-weighted moving average set to a 7 period. This is what Cryptic says. It's the Arca T1000 Millionaire EFFU market bot. Dude, this is the market bot. So the volume weighted moving average is set to a 7 period, right? So, and just like I always speak to you about, the SMI on an upside of 20%, right? I'm talking about stochastic momentum, upside of the 20 percentile, and the threshold from volatility, 90% contracting or expanding from 15%, the literal strategy that I speak of. Okay, so that over the last 551 trades with a $50,000 base account has made an 11,700% gain, or AKA $5.8 million, with a drawdown of 92% of 3. So you lost $350,000 to make $5.8 million, and the average trade is $10,600, and you're looking at 3 trades per 6 hour bar. So that thing that I just told you with a trailing stop loss, seeing that you're going to move the markets here within a ticker like this, then depending on your threshold, then yeah, it would be appropriate to maybe set up a trailing stop loss at 5%, so when you're in the money, of course, right? So this is living proof, and I'm talking about statistically living proof, right? It gives you a performance summary and everything, right? So it's living proof that the trailing stop loss can work if you are systemic in a sense. Okay, so be very mindful about not returning what you've already gained from the markets. Okay, keep those gains. But this MRES is very dangerous. It's a 2-cent ticker. Okay, this can be mangled hard. Very, very difficult thing to trade here. Okay, team. But anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at this one more ticker. I think I'm gonna have to wake up my son pretty soon. Okay, team. So let's look at SPCE for Daryl. So also, am I pronouncing your name correct? I hope I'm not. It's not Darrell, right? Or is it Daryl? Ticker name change. Yeah, that's right, Dan Love. SPCE. They recently had a good launch, and the price action capitulated. All right, so it actually did not meet the downside that we were looking for to creating that test of Daryl. Okay, good. So I thought that we were going to be able to get that ABCD strategy here, but it's this was very clear too. Let me see this on the daily. This is looking very bear trappy. Yeah, because we reached this level once before and we're touching it again. This is bear trap territory. Okay, but it's going to be very difficult to combat this. Okay, so the resistance we're going to face is going to be in respects to the SMA 50, EMA 7, and the SMA 10, located very near the upside of about 423 to around 431. Okay, so let's see if this can recover, though. Let's see the 4-hour time frame, the shorter time frames, right? Okay, we're getting the upside pivot here on the 4-hour. Let's see if the bi-hourly fed it. It did, and the hourly time frame, of course, did too. Okay, so this is good. It's cascading right now. Okay, it's practicing that domino effect. Okay, so we're getting that upside here in the 6-hour. So yes, this is and it's minimizing bear pressure here on the MACD. You can see that we're losing it in the histogram, right? We're getting some more pressure to the upside here. I do have to say that there is an immediate resistance on the SMA 14 6-hour, right? So that's indicative of either the SMA 10 or the SMA 200, of which it's already reactive to. So 396 could be a top side here, and I think, look at what time is it right now? It's 10:42. The high of day is very likely to be in. And the reason we're actually facing this high of day is because that's the previous day's high. Remember. I'm not sure that I even told you this, right? But this is for my students, right? Particularly for the tutoring sessions that we're in, to always keep an eye always make sure to know your prior day high. Okay, so because likely the high of day is going to be faced at around that target, at or near. Okay, so let's see. But yeah, so SPCE, I do think that it's in a very trappy area. I can't validate it just yet, but every time frame is suggesting this to push to the upside. So I'm just gonna put it out like this, man. To be honest with you, $4.23 I'm expecting by Friday or Monday coming in. It's at around 390 right now. Okay, so it's market cap. Let's see, market cap just upside of $1 billion. This is around the area where I can play. I would like the float to be 500 million with $1 billion in the cap, right? But this is very close to small caps, to where I play, right? But it's a little cheap. But yeah, this is it's showing some promise to it, and I'm wondering if it's why did it capitulate? It had a successful launch. No idea why it capitulated, right? But still, it's just the nature of the beast. Damn, are you serious, bro? Again? Look at that thing, man. Look at that thing running. I'm telling you guys, my eyeballs on 423 potentially by Friday. But who knows with all this FOMO, man? The FNGR has about 150 million short shares to cover. So, yeah, this is it's incredibly frothy. And I wouldn't say that it's done. I remember a few days ago I said that this is likely to go up for a few days. And it's still doing it, right? So all of these targets have been met thus far. It's insane. This is a very powerful move. So let me give you the range though. Okay, 423, 3.618. So I'd say about this is a daily. So yeah, 423 to upwards of about 443. So if we're getting so close to the 4.236, then 449 is not so it's not so far out of the cards. Okay, so daily time frame, upside pivot on stochastics. We have critical volatility at within the 90, right? And also, look at this. We have DMI support. So ADX currently sitting and validating right now a very strong market at 37%. Remember, any time upside of the 30 percentile from the ADX and the DMI indicator is definitely giving some headway here. Okay, so this is absolutely strengthening and continuing to the upside. Remember, team, upwards of 423 to 449 is my essential resistance. Rosy Gray Glasses Finger was recently evaluated at $5 conservatively based on fundamentals. We can actually see that here on the technicals. So let's go ahead and see the forecast. Yeah, $5 minimum, 26% from the current price right now with a strong buy. And this is the forecast from it, right? So it's not often that you actually, well, I mean, I guess they do, but sometimes it's manipulation. But you are getting here a strong buy from the analyst rating and the trading view algorithm giving you a buy signal as well. So this is what I mean. It's just there is strong potential here on almost all the oscillators too. This is interesting. Yeah, team. FNGR is something of its own beast, and it's still suggesting a continuation to the upside. I'm very bullish this asset, although I'm very hesitant on it too, right? Because of the high speculation, high amount of psychology, lots of things like that, team. Okay, so, but yeah, guys, I really like what we saw here. And yeah, team, let's go ahead and wrap up right now. Let's look at the broader markets one more time before we leave, right? So TQQQ sitting at 41.30. I am 70 cents from in the money, or 71 to be exact, right? And 443.24. We're still testing the upside in the top side resistance here. Massive top side resistance on the SPY. Okay, we want to make sure that we can start closing candles above 447.30. Okay, getting daily closures above that 447.30 would essentially validate a continuation to the upside, and a pretty strong one at that. Okay, so in those situations is where we would consider positions on blue chips, right, or higher valuated stocks. Another one that's very easy to trade within a good market movement like this is actually it's actually American Airlines' ticker, right? So that is not expensive, right? So, and I mean also the TQQQ, although triple leverage, right, is 41.30. It's not so up there, right? So Rosy Gray Glasses, let's see FNGR reaching $4. Man, real time winner here, man. Yep. Look at that. But remember, my bro, I'm still looking at 423 to 449. A high probability that it'll reach it too. Okay, so MULN, sorry, actually facing that top side to see as high as of 1818. Damn. This is what is the volume now on the daily? 819 million. Guys, the freaking float is 620 million. What? Are you seeing this? Guys, we're trading 200 million above the float. That's oh my goodness, here we go is right. Dude. Yeah, man, Tesla. Yeah, that's what I mean. Tickers like Apple, Tesla, man. This upon that validation of support from the broader markets at above 440, 430 on the SPY. Man, oh man, Tesla will rip. Apple will rip. Those would really pressure the markets to the upside altogether. Mega caps are just gonna lead it, and it's still tech. It's very and rarely, by the way. Okay. It's tech leading it. Very, very cool times here, team. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and wrap up today. I'll go ahead and load up a few other tickers. Oh, look at this. Remember this, okay, team? The loading zone for ticker symbol AMRS 9793 to 103 per the play in the Discord members, right? So keep an eye on these targets. We are essentially on that path to reaching those targets, and I'm talking about a potential 10.34% move to the upside in a day trade. There could be a probability to gain entry here post market. Okay, so yeah, keep an eye on that. All right, so almost all finger calls green. That is insane. So Jennifer, that's what I was asking about earlier. I was thinking to see if we can locate when the major expiry would be for the options chain, and if we can get some of those witching dates in there, man, that'll create a gamma ramp that would lead into a potential short squeeze of epic proportion. Those are conditions that are usually needed in order to create an actual physical short squeeze. We're not officially in the territory, in the broader market spectrum, right? If we can get the 444.30 validation support of the SPY, that can assist everything. That can assist a lot of things. Okay, team, and also that would indicate risk assets would make the DXY capitulate a little more. So show a little more weakness on the dollar, which would then in turn pressure Bitcoin to the upside even more. Upside targets of Bitcoin could be to 34 to 35,000, maybe even up to 36,000 to be honest. There is a 5-day setup happening on that on volatility versus momentum. So I would keep into consideration trading Mara, Riot, and Wolf. Okay, so those three tickers would be very, very awesome to get into for this potential run that's going to be faced on Bitcoin. So and yeah, inversely speaking, the DXY showing weakness on a macro scale shows strength to the Bitcoin asset. So my finger calls from last week are up 200% so far, selling a few at a time. That's good, man. That's absolutely how to do it. And let's see, Sebastian Wolf. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. So Jennifer, I bought those calls last week mostly for August. Oh, so you bought them way out. Okay. They usually they're a little more expensive when you buy them out that far. Yeah, the FNGR options they can capitulate. I would, if there were anything to keep into consideration with FNGR options, is to make sure, and I really wouldn't do the long-term ones too much, right? So if you want longer exposure, that's all good, because it gives you the time. It gives you the time, right? But remember of time decay as well. So whatever your theta is times 100 shares is what you're losing per day of holding one contract. Okay, so know the metric to lose as well as the metric to win, right? So also buying a pretty low implied volatility after it's experienced an IV crush, then in that moment would be a pretty good place for you to start loading up. And here's a little tip, team. Not always is this the case, right? But you can take this tip and take it and run with it forever, okay? Because not everyone knows this, but it doesn't happen always. But you can assume there are times to where you can assume that your delta or your implied volatility it can be used as the chances of it reaching in the money. So meaning that if you have a delta of 0.54, that would be a delta or a 54% chance of reaching in the money. So you can look at it like that too, which by the way are closer to at the money options when you're looking at it, purchasing out of the money calls, right? So your delta would often meet very close to your implied volatility too. So your implied volatility down, a low implied volatility is the way to go, okay? Because you want to get an IV pump, okay? So meaning when the implied volatility pumps, your open interest expands, and that would increase the chances of reaching at the money, from which then your gamma would apply, and then it would apply to delta. So gamma plus delta would be your official whatever valuation times 100 shares of the contract. So that there is a very powerful strategy. Okay, so if you are looking into applying what your Vega is doing, so that would be your implied volatility. So any point, meaning that if your implied volatility is a 54% and it goes to 55%, that point would be equal Vega times 100 shares of the underlying, right? So that would be just say that you have a Vega of 10 cents, right? So that's going to be 10 cents times 100 shares of the underlying option, and then that would give you another boost to your gamma, which is giving a boost to your delta. So knowing your Greeks and knowing what to look out for in options is critically important, because you're really able to determine how much you can gain off of this, right? So I think there was a pretty good site that can help you automatically with this. I think it was team, if you remember this, I think it was something that even Trace Trades would talk about. I think it was called Options Chameleon or Market Chameleon. It was something like that. But you were able to enter the metrics of whatever options contract that you're looking at with the expiry, and it'll give you the chances of winning or losing, right? So keep an eye on things like that. Those tools are essential for traders, okay, especially ones that are trading high leverage options contracts, right? So that's it gets dangerous, team. All right, guys, but just wanted to make sure that I can share that quick little tip with you guys, and hopefully you can use it for your benefit and really run with the markets, okay? So I'm gonna, again, like I said, team, I'm gonna put up a few videos tonight, and it's gonna be I'm gonna try to include GTII in this because I didn't cover it the last time, right? But we will again, okay? So break it and rip. That's right, man. That's absolutely right. Check it out. 443.29 on the SPY, looking not bad. And 41.33 on the TQQQ, ever so slightly higher. Still green on the day, by the way. But yeah, team, I appreciate everybody for coming by. Samantha H., thank you so much for all your help. Cal L., if you're still in here, miss you, buddy. Love you, buddy. Cryptic Trader, love you, man, dude. Love you, my dude. Sebastian Lim, always coming through, my bro. Always helping me out. Really, really appreciate all your help, dude. All of you guys, I appreciate you dearly. All right, team. So, but yeah, and of course, I will make sure to give my boy some hugs. Definitely all the time. Jennifer, appreciate you coming by, right? But team, Steve Mertz, good to see you here in the chat all the time, my brother. Later, bro. Later. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be back in streaming live again tomorrow morning. Remember how it goes, team. We are not done streaming. We are actually trading, right? But anyway, with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good night. And what's up, Zeph? I'll catch you next time too, my bro. And I wish you all good. Off-grid Gorilla, peace out to you, my brother. See you guys. Have a good day, a good rest of your day, and I hope you guys had a great 4th. All right, team. Peace. Adios.